Under the lights in Virginia Beach, Virginia, 110 of the best of the HBCU suit up for the final time in their collegiate careers with pro aspirations in mind. It's the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl coming your way next. Good evening, I'm John Kelly Jr. alongside Brandon Noble, and the third member of our team, Abby Atwater, will be patrolling the sidelines. Brandon, for these players, the practices are over. This is a major job interview with NFL scouts on hand, but we cannot forget their accomplishments this year.
Yeah, this is really about celebrating a great career, a great season. At the same time, there were NFL scouts here. There were CFL scouts here. It's an interview.
The Brave offense has three impressive signal callers in Malcolm Bell, Ronald Butler, and Chris Andrews. What do you like, Brandon, about each one?
Malcolm Bell can beat you with his feet, but he can also throw the ball downfield really well. Ronald Butler's a great story. The kid played wide receiver for 3 games this year and then switched to quarterback. Now he's playing in an all-star game. Chris Andrews, solid, throws the ball well on the run. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
The pride strength lies in the secondary with 2 first-team all-SWAC selections, and Guy Stallworth and Jameel Jackson both have a lot to offer this evening, Brandon.
Yeah, Guy Stallworth is down in the box safety, really active in the run game. Jameel Jackson, on the other hand, plays in center field, takes the ball away. They're a great tandem.
The cream of the crop of the HBCU is on hand, ready to roll in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl kickoff coming your way next.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to Virginia Beach Sports Complex here in the first ever Spirit of America Bowl. The blue team won the coin toss and they defer to the second half. So the red and maroon here will receive. The coin toss is brought to you by Collegiate Sports Management Group. The Dream Bowl and the HBU Spirit of America Bowl is presented in part by Collegiate Sports Management Group. CSMG is the distributor and marketing partner of these 2 games. Dream Bowl weekend and other leading sports programming. It's a privilege to partner with Neil Malvone and Cutting Edge Sports Management in delivering these events to fans that could not get enough football. Still America's favorite sport. For more information about Collegiate Sports Management Group, visit their website at www.collegiatesmg.com. Now down to Abby.
Thanks, guys. I spoke with both head coaches, Gustavius Patterson and Adrian Jones, during warm-ups, and I asked them, what is your main goal for the players during this game? And they said to have fun, execute, and to get them ready for whatever's next, no matter what it is.
Thank you very much, Abby. So we're going to have our kickoff here. And Brandon, here we are, the first ever Spirit of America Bowl, the best of the HBCU. Let's not forget, 32 HBCU players were on starting day NFL rosters, and there's plenty of talent out here right now.
Absolutely. It's been some great football. I had a great time. I was here for a few days this week and got to watch them practice, and the kids got after it. They were competitive. You could tell that they were trying to, get their name out there when these scouts were here watching them. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can tell they're excited down there. They're jumping around, hooting and hollering. It's going to be a good one.
Gavin Maroof to send it away here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl from Virginia Beach Sports Complex. Steps up to the tee, and we are off as the line drives one. Some trouble handling it, goes back into the end zone. And they will take a knee, so we will get to see the Brave offense coming on out. A little bit of a struggle there, Brandon, the start.
Yeah, that line drive, this is one of those things in a game like this, there's not a lot of preparation time, right? These guys are basically coming back off the season. They're out here for a couple days. Line drive, it got fumbled a little bit, maybe a little bit of nerves. And, thankfully for those guys, it didn't turn into a turnover or safety.
So Malcolm Bell will come out, starting QB here for the Brave on their first offensive drive. The running back behind him here, Lamont Jackson. Bell, of course, the MEAC leader in total offensive yards with 3,006 this year, and he sent his team to back-to-back Celebration Bowls. And Jackson takes it across 25 and just short of the 30 on the first carry. So second down upcoming. Quick tempo here, Brandon, we're going to see.
Yeah, they're moving fast, man. It got right back on the ball. Communication is a big part of the game, and in these situations, it can be tough.
So 3 receivers are right, 1 receiver to the left. Malcolm Bell here with the second down. Fires to the perimeter, has a man at the 35. And hauled in on the play by Landon Malbrough, whose uncle Jerry had 32.5 sacks for the Detroit Lions, a third-round pick, and his father played in the CFL, so a lot of pro blood, and he helps get a first down, Brandon.
Yeah, it's a good job. Good catch, just kind of making a nice short throw, get some confidence, run the ball. Here we go.
Bell fires to the middle, incomplete. So he'll be one of two here, but this opening drive has produced one first down. We're scoreless here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl here. Brandon here, when you look at Malcolm Bell, what are you expecting out of him tonight? What is it that he brings?
Well, really what you want to see is, just handle the offense, throw the ball well, be creative with his feet, just do all the little things right that's being expected of him, and he's done all year.
Gives this time to Lamont Brown across the 40 to the 45. Nice motor there by Lamont Brown, team leader at Morgan State with 445 rush yards this year. Very tough for him, too, because he led the MEC in 2013 in rush yards with 708, but an injury derailed one of his seasons.
Yeah, that's a great job by the front, too, man. They got a good push there. They're just running inside zone, hands it off. He's patient, hits the hole. Good game.
So it'll be third down and 2. Line to keep the drive alive is the 46. Goes back to Brown, tries to cut it inside, breaks a tackle, a nice contain on the outside. And Reggie Ragland, we're going to hear about him alongside Angelo Keys on that defensive line, able to get a good stop.
Yeah, the way you stop those runs, those zone plays is with penetration. And that's what Ragland did there. He got upfield, knocked his offensive lineman backwards. It made the back, stutter step belly a little bit. Next thing you know, all his buddies show up.
So a 3 and out. And we will get to see the Pride's offense come on out. As Weaver Jr. back to receive for the Pride. This punt, North Carolina A&T backed up Denzel Keys. This is a good one. And a fumble there at the 10 and taken into the end zone. Although we have to see about our rules if you can advance it, but beside it, the Brave in position here to get the game's first points. We do know some of the rules here, Brandon, as well as blitzing. You can't blitz on the third down, so you can only blitz on first and second down. I think that could be advanced, but hey, there's your first turnover of the game.
That's, again, it's the kicking game. It's one of those things that during the season you work on all the time. But in these situations, you sometimes have guys that don't do it every week. All right, and they're the ones that are back there now all of a sudden looking up in those lights, and that ball's coming down with 11 dudes trying to hit them. Any muff that. Usually, I'm pretty sure on a muff punt you can't advance it, so we'll just have to wait and see. The officials are kind of congregating in the middle there.
First ever Spirit of America Bowl here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex. I'm John Kelly Jr. alongside Brandon Noble and Abby Atwater, the third member of our team on the sideline. First year this has been done. As we mentioned before, 32 HBCU players were on NFL starting rosters. A lot of good talent on this squad. A big school name, though, that's going to be mentioned, you're going to hear a lot of them, is from Grambling. They had a great season. And Brandon, what an offense they had. We'll get to see Dominique Leake, but not now, and Verlan Hunter. But Chad Williams, a great receiver for them. Hopefully he can come into the second game here next year. So this first turnover opportunity, can the Brave cash in? Brown and Bell in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. He's going to keep it himself. Across the 15, inside the 10 to the 5. Malcolm to the end zone. Touchdown, and there's the first score of the game on a turnover. 1 play, Brandon.
1 play, nice and simple, right? It's just how you draw it up. That was a great play. They ran a little zone stretch action away. You see the back going away, and then Bell keeps it, goes around the corner. This is what he did all year. I mean, he can beat you with his feet. He can beat you with his arm, taking advantage of the turnover. 6 points.
He was second in school history in total offense with 7,844 total offensive yards. Only the 6th player in North Carolina Central University history to record 5,000 plus total yards. And we can see why he was able to do that. Nice run, and now here comes the extra point. John Barron will kick it. Hold there, kick by Barron. Is good, so the Brave use a turnover by the Pride to get the first points in the first ever Spirit of America Bowl. They lead 7-0, 12:28 to go here in the first quarter. And we'll keep it here. What'd you like about that play with Bell going in the end zone? When you're able to run it with Brown up the middle, that opens up the perimeter. Bell saw it and scored.
Yeah, they did a great job earlier. Before the turnover, they had a couple really nice runs up the middle, the fake, and that's what happens, right? Your linebackers, they start chasing the ball, and then Bell pops, pulls it, goes around the corner. There were some great blocks on the outside by the wide receivers. Well-designed play. They took advantage, like you said, of a mistake. And you're going to see that in these games. You're going to see, those types of little things that over the course of a season you don't usually get just because you've got so much practice time. These guys, these coaching staffs, they worked their tails off this week. Got to watch them do it. They prepare as best they can. But, again, it's a short week, not a lot of practice. And you see that again in the special teams.
As we look there, the Pride coach by Adrian Jones. He was 2-8 in his first season at Shaw University. He's North Carolina Central's career leader in passes defended with 41 and interceptions with 10. And here's Denzel Keys just previously in your screen. Hopefully we get to see him on offense. He led the MEAC with 10 touchdown catches this year.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. You look at him, he's got all the physical attributes that you're looking for a big wide receiver. He's got huge hands. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked out and I saw him on practice field. Huge hands, made a couple of circus catches this week. He's a good football player.
The kick coming away here from John Barron. Also going to see Avrion Hurts. Played at Texas Southern for Mike Haygood. Good to see him back in the coaching ranks as Avrion Hurts, his brother Jalen Hurts, is the starting quarterback at Alabama. He liked the tweet, and hopefully he's tuning in on this one as his brother has a big-time arm down the field. Sent away by Barron. At the 5. Across the 20 to the 25 is Weaver Jr. Nice return, and we will get to see the first of the Pride offense. Michael Weaver Jr., he missed 2015 with a broken arm, and that was in the preseason. He's a good route runner, possession receiver, though with scouts looking on, it's what you can do best to help your team win the game. They want a guy who can do everything, and he's showing it right now with the return, as Terrian Ayers will be our first quarterback to see for the Pride. 12 TDs, 1,300 passing yards, as he'll set up an eye here on a first down. Give up the center across the 25. Goes to Justin Kelly, another one of those big-time players at Grambling State, second down. Justin Kelly, too, by the way, Brandon. He split backfield time with Martez Carter. Now, he led the team in rushing with 988 rush yards. As we look here at the offensive line, Jylan Ware's a guy people were talking about. He plays left tackle here in the starting lineup.
Yeah, he's an NFL left tackle. I saw him a couple times this week, walked in. I was actually in the elevator with him. He's a big person.
Second down handoff back to Kelly. Gets outside the 30, across the 35 to the 40. Justin throwing out shoulder and gets driven out of bounds. 2 runs and it produces the first down for the Pride. 7-0 lead here by the Brave. They took the lead after a botched punt, and Malcolm Bell able to run it in for the game's first touchdown.
That's a great run. It's an outside zone. He's looking to hit it off tackle, gets the linebacker to kind of come inside, and then he bounces it out for the big gain.
So Ayers going to go back under center. It's an offset eye, first down. They're out to the 45. Kelly trying to get the perimeter, cuts inside, short of the 50, now gets across it. And they'll give him the 49, so a second down upcoming here for the Pride, looking to respond and tie this game at 7.
Yeah, just getting things under control. You know what I mean? Run the ball a little bit, just nice and easy. We have a little bit of a muffed punt there, turns into points for the other team. Settle down, go play. Again, I know I'm going to talk about it a lot tonight. These are not easy things here.
Some good secondary players, Dedrick Jones, Raymond Malone, who played for Kentucky State. He was the SIAC MVP in that game. First time John L. Smith in his first season got them back to the SIAC championship. Very good secondary. You also saw Tavon Spencer in your screen. First player ever in Kentucky State history to have 100-plus tackles. Little jet sweep to Weaver Jr. He's short of the 45, knocked down at the 46, so a third down upcoming. Pretty impressed with what we've seen in short practices from the blocking up front here, Brandon. A lot of creases for these players.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things. Again, O-lines are another one of those groups that work together as one, right? 5 guys working together, and it's really important that they're a cohesive unit. And in these situations, again, it's a little bit harder. These guys did a great job. Everybody's zone blocking to the left, reaching their guys, pushing them back. It's a big gain.
So it'll be a third down and short. The line to keep this alive is the 45 of the Brave. Ayers setting up under center. Played at Virginia State. Goes to Kelly across the 45, has the first down, and powers to the 42. So that's enough for a Pride first down. 2 of them running the ball with Kelly.
That's a great job. Again, it's just a surge up front, right? You got some big guys leaning and moving people off the ball. It's a good physical run. He got behind his pads, put his foot in the ground, and went.
Those pants were on those 2 first downs.
Which is good.
So Ayers under center. Weaver Jr. goes to the far side left. Same eye set. This has worked. As McGinn comes in motion, Kelly cuts it across the 40. And taken down just short of the 35. They're going to give him the 37. The blocking fullback in there, it was A.J. McGinn, and he was an important member of that North Carolina A&T squad. Brandon, he was the lead blocker for Tariq Cohen, the 3-time MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, had 5,600 career total rushing yards, and A.J. McGinn, a key reason why, and that type of fullback reminds me of Lorenzo Neal.
I remember I played against Lorenzo. McGinn had a great week in practice. Scouts were really impressed with him. I think he helped himself a lot. I love the fact that there's a fullback on the football field.
You don't see that much today in football as Ayers with trouble with the snap, but improvises across the 30 to the... They're going to give him just the 30. That should be enough for another first down for this Pride team, trying to respond and tie it at 7. John Kelly Jr., Brandon Noble, Abby Atwater, the third person on our team here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex. Going to see a lot of premier players. It's amazing here. The run game kind of dominating in a game that we saw a lot of good pass catchers on both sides of this squad.
Yeah, no, there's some athletes out there, but look, they've just decided, hey, we're going to run the football. Our O-line is going to move your guys off the ball. We've got a big fullback that can knock people backwards, and they're doing a great job with that.
Denzel Keys, to the near side of your screen, Michael Weaver Jr. in it, and he's going to take a reverse and gets eaten up in the backfield. Nice read by the Brave defense. And the tackle made by Keelan Jones. He's getting into the action here.
That was a great play. He sniffed that thing out, saw the reverse coming around, got upfield. Again, penetration kills everything. You know, when you're getting that kind of side-to-side offensive play, you know, when you get upfield as a D lineman or a linebacker, it creates issues.
Give a lot of credit to Miles Pace in your screen right there. Really helped set the edge. Led Virginia Union with 4 sacks. Jones led the CIAA with 10.6 tackles per game this year. And we have a timeout here on the field. The Braves lead 7-0. Brave leads 7-0. Pride threatening with 7:28 to go. First quarter here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. Back here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, the Brave lead 7-0, 7:28 to go. Malcolm Bell started the scoring, but the Pride now threatening to tie this game at 7 and using the running game. Justin Kelly with 5 carries for 32 yards, Brandon. The running game getting it done so far.
Yeah, they're just hammering that ball, man. It's like I said, it's fun. There's a fullback on the field, right? This is old-time football. I'm enjoying it, and it's simple. Right, nothing fancy. Again, with the kind of preparation you have in this game, that's what they're doing. They're running zone right, zone left, punching the ball forward. Kelly's doing a great job, puts his foot in the ground. He has a good feel for when to go vertically, right? He stretches the defense a little bit, sees where the backers are, and then he puts his foot in the ground, gets behind his pads, not his pants, and goes forward.
And also his idol is Monte Ball. He said that in one of the interviews he had. He likes the way Monte plays physically. And again, put up 2,600 career rushing yards at Grambling State. You know, it's amazing because you look, too, on this other roster for the Brave, at least on offense. A lot of Ole Miss transfers played with Devontae Kincaid, who came in there from Ole Miss and did very well for Grambling State. So can the Pride tie us at 7? 7:28 to go. They have a 2nd and 15, and Ayers will be here in the shotgun. Weaver is split all alone. 2 receivers are left. Seeing a lot of Michael Weaver Jr. early. Blitz coming off the near side, and we have a false start. And I really like what you see there from Keelan Jones trying to get the tackle off balance, and they'll push him back 5 more yards.
Yeah, that's not, as an old D-line coach, you never want your guys jumping off sides. But at the same time, you understand the aggressiveness. You want them going forward. It's kind of one of those things. You coach through it.
Is there anything you did during your time at Penn State and something you picked up being a 9-year pro veteran, Brandon, where you wouldn't get in trouble? Because sometimes the defensive lineman can get kind of in trouble for forcing the center to go off guard there.
As simple as it sounds, man, just watch the ball. You try not to listen to the quarterback. Sometimes you can get a little cheat here or there, watching knees, watching feet, watching stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just, hey, get your eyes on that ball. When it moves, you go.
I form. Go back to Kelly across the 30. He continues the power. That's his 6th carry, using a little jet motion. And 2nd down upcoming. Brandon, there's another player here on the Brave squad that you were excited to see, and scouts raved about him. Brandon Barnes from Alabama State. 2nd team as a junior with 3 touchdown catches, but they loved what he was able to do.
Yeah, he did a great job this week. The scouts really, really liked him. He's big, athletic, tight end. He's got that body that they're looking for. Right, and then it's just about, can he develop? Can he be big enough and physical enough to go play at the next level?
Line to keep this one alive on a 3rd and 8 is the 20. It's at the 30. Pride driving here to tie it at 7. Ayers underneath, and it's incomplete. As he was looking for the man we were talking about, Brandon Barnes, in our screen, so that'll be a 4th and 8. What do you do here if you're the Pride?
Well, might as well go for it. Why not? Just go see if we can get it back. It looks like they are, too.
And they're going to actually give him the catch. So it'll be a 4th and short. Make it 4th. About 2 is Kelly between the guards and across the 20 for the 1st down. So interesting, they give him the catch. And, hey, works out for the Pride, and now they're in the red zone here with an opportunity to tie it at 7.
That little short motion there by the fullback tight end, and give it to Kelly, and up he goes.
Tell our viewers, too, at the same time, Brandon, that motion's put in place to make the linebackers think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's a chess match, right? You got that guy moving one way, you get used to seeing it, and they're always running behind him, and the next thing you know, the ball's going to go back the other side.
Stretch play to Kelly, keeps it rolling. Across the 20, just short of the 15. As he'll be marked at the 17-yard line. I really love what I see with McGinn.
Yeah, you love it. It's his old school fullback, right? He's getting out there and knocking people around.
Phillip Williamson on the tackle. 6'3", 235 from Durham, North Carolina. A lot of North Carolinians playing in this Dream Bowl. A lot of talent in North Carolina. You look at Bunn High School, produces a lot of talent. And it isn't just the D1 programs, but it's kind of like below right now. When you look at it, you say, oh, where's North Carolina? They had a good year finally. Where's NC State? But you have NCAA, a lot of good teams down there, and a lot of talent shown throughout this week and in this game this evening. On a 2nd down play, Ayers to the air, a slant, and it's incomplete, almost intercepted, and that was read beautifully on the play by Raymond Malone. Let's send it down to Abby Atwater. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Avrion Hurts, quarterback from Texas Southern. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience here all week?
And it's been a great opportunity, got to meet guys from across the way, It's really good for us because a lot of these guys are from the SWAC, teams that we've played all year, and us coming together for one common goal, it's been pretty fun.
And what do you think you can show NFL, CFL scouts?
I think I can show them I'm a great leader. If given the opportunity, I can help my teammates, play up, and, just go out there and grind.
Thanks so much, Avrion. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Raymond Malone. Let's look at that replay. What a great job by Raymond Malone.
That's a good job. He drops back there. The ball goes way up in there. He kind of floated that thing. Gave him a lot of time. Malone comes over.
Caught it off the ricochet. Nice heads-off play. But they said it was incomplete. Referees are saying that on the field, but still Malone, that's a heck of a heads-up play there, Brandon.
Absolutely. Again, the ball was way up in the air. Kind of floated it. It's a great job by Malone. He covered a lot of ground there. And then again, just having the wherewithal to see it, boom, popping up, catch it.
That is still in play. So
that looked like it didn't hit the ground.
Indeed. So the Pride will get a chance here for a field goal, get some points out of it. It's blocked, does not get there. So doesn't hurt the Brave, and the Pride's nice drive doesn't get converted on as the field goal no good. So the Brave will go back on offense, trying to extend their advantage by 2 scores. Brandon, let's look at this blocked field goal on our screen.
That just came out really, really low there. He didn't get under that ball. It's a little cold out there today. Sometimes kickers don't have a lot of time to get warmed up and get loose. That ball gets a little hard, and he struck it funny. Let those guys just kind of jump. Because it looked like, there wasn't much of a rush there except off the edge, right? Those guys just kind of took 2 steps and jumped up in the air.
Dietrich Jones, the guy who got his fingertips on it. So the Brave in action here. And with an opportunity to make it 14-0, 4:45 to go here in the first quarter of the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. And a timeout here on the field. Well, Brandon, as we look here at Malcolm Bell, he has the game's only score, did it on a run himself. And, man, he really had one heck of a career during his time at North Carolina Central. Threw for 6,340 pass yards. That's second in school history. But also, this is another big thing to mention here with HBCU players. He was a Black College Football Player of the Year finalist. We have several in this one. Of course, Justin Kelly played with one in Devontae Kincaid.
Yeah, no, he's a really, really good football player. He does, like I said, he does it all. And that's important. You've got in the game today, the way that it is, that quarterback has to be able to make plays with his feet, and he has to be able to make it with his arm. That's what they do anyways. But at the end of the day, he's done a great job with that. He's been really, really active. He's been a lot of fun to watch this week. And you saw it on that touchdown. He pulled that ball and ran around the corner and walked into the end zone.
You're looking at head coach Patterson there discussing things with the referees before, as he has a big-time coaches at Wagner. Of course, he's very familiar with Chris Andrews, helped him to go to a 4-1 record and split the NEC with Bryant. Chris Andrews, the guy he's seen. Also, Coach Patterson, he's been around the block, produced some good receivers at Fordham. Jason Caldwell, a record-setting receiver. And it's great to see him here in this HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. A good offensive mind. He was excited when he talked to me today. He just said a simple word to me: I'm jacked. I'm ready to roll.
Look, this is fun. This is extra football for these guys. And for coaches, that's what it's about. Look, these guys are taking away time from their program. Right, they're here. They're giving back to the game a little bit. But at the same time, look, it's an extra football game. And as a coach, you only get so many of them. So anytime you can sneak out on the field one more time and work with some great kids and help them get better and help them kind of chase that dream or maybe finish their career the right way, these guys are excited. They coached hard this week. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Walt Hamline, the head coach at Wagner, in really good shape with this guy calling his offensive plays. So out of the timeout here, Malcolm Bell getting his third drive, produced a touchdown on 1 of 2. And Lamont Brown will still be the guy in the backfield. 4 receivers out. Bell off a play fake, fires far side, and it's incomplete as it was intended on the play for Ernest Bell Jr., who led Miles College with 29 catches, was second with 364 receiving yards, and had 11 receptions for 117. That is a career high for him. Hopefully he could set something of that tonight.
Little zone read fake. They pull the guard around for a little protections. Yeah, he had to kind of sidearm that thing out of there. He didn't really get his feet set. He was moving. Just mechanically that one got away from him.
Trevon Spencer on the coverage, so it is second down for the Brave. And Brown this time up the center across the 25 with a nice burst over the 30 to the 31. And tackle there made by Cameron Sullivan, who won back-to-back CIA championships when he was at Winston-Salem State. Nice move.
Yeah, that's a good run right there. That's physical pounding. He put his foot in the ground, went vertical. O-line did a good job up front with a couple double teams and sprung them.
Run game seeming to dominate things so far. Brown again across the 30. Powering and finally taken down at the 38. And tackle provided there by Javante Kelly, who is second-team All-SIAC defense.
It's another good physical inside the tackle run. That's what you want. You're just put the ball in his hands and go. And that's kind of what we're seeing. Again, it's those simple things in games like this that are the most effective.
Second down and 2. 3 receivers are left, 1 to the right. Bell in the shotgun. His third drive here. He has the only touchdown on a run, a little bubble screen. Across the 40. and hauled in nicely on the play. So
that was really well played.
Yes, well done.
By the defense, absolutely. They came and hit that thing the right way. They set it, and then you had the pursuit come. Those are tough to fit sometimes. And when you talk about fitting, it means the one guy's got to be here, the other guy's got to be there, and it's got to build a little bit of a fence.
Ahmad Harris on that catch, I apologize there. He played at UCLA, also finished his career at South Carolina State. That was enough for a first down. So we'll do it again here. Pride had an opportunity to tie this game, but they missed a field goal. Brave with the only points. There's nothing going on there. And that Pride defensive line, you better watch out for. They are just physical. There's the guy we talked about earlier, Ragland.
Yeah, he's a good football player. He gets off the ball really, really well. He chases that thing down from the backside. He got a little zone block away. When his key left and went up to the linebacker, the tackle, or the guard there wasn't able to pick him up. Kid can play.
Yep, first team check that 2016 All-MEAC alongside Angelo Keys. Really great player. So we have a 2nd and 12. And that bubble screen blown up. Again, nice read by the defense.
Picked it up, tried to look everybody off, threw it back out. Might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there, too. Kind of looks like those guys on offense weren't quite sure who was supposed to get the ball.
As Kevon Townsend and Kristen Wilson there on the coverage, so it'll be a 3rd down and 12. For Malcolm Bell, line to keep this alive is midfield. Malcolm Bell with the only points of this first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. Cashed in on a Pride turnover, a month punt. Now Brown goes in motion. Blitz coming up the middle from Townsend. Bell keeps it himself. Remember, he can run, but they keep him in the pocket. Fires to an open man downfield and has him. What a great catch on the play made by Jonathan Dorsey, who led the SWAC in all receiving categories as a tight end, and he popped open there.
He's another one of those tight ends here in this game that is very, very good, and people are very, very excited about it. It's a great job. He gets out of the pocket. It's kind of like that scramble drill you see those guys like Aaron Rodgers do every once in a while. You just got to be on the same page, which is tough in an all-star game.
And let's look at that catch here on our replay, Brandon.
Moves, and he's running the ball right there to throw it, right? He wasn't looking to take off. It was a great job, and Dorsey had to turn around on that one a little bit and come back for it, but it was a good catch. They really, really liked that kid this week.
You could see why. 2016 All-SWAC 2nd team. As it's 2nd and 10 here, Brave trying to go up by 2 scores. Bell going to keep it himself. Nice stutter step across the 35 and goes down short of the 30 at the 32. So it'll be a 3rd and manageable upcoming here. John Kelly Jr., Brandon Noble, Abby Atwater, our 3rd member of our team.
Those are the plays that show up when you hand that ball off on that inside zone over and over and over again. All of a sudden, when Bell keeps it, there's nobody there. The defense did a good job. That's what he scored on the first time.
Now down to Abby Atwater.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Greg Hankerson, quarterback from Norfolk State. You're here with the Pride. Greg, what has your experience been like this week?
It's been a good experience. I mean, I got to know a lot of guys that I didn't know before today. I mean, there's a lot of great talent out here, so looking forward to playing.
And what can you offer CFL or NFL scouts?
I can offer you an athletic quarterback. I mean, I'm going to get the job done, and I'm going to do what I do my best to win.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. As we have a flag here on the play. Now a second one comes out, so we'll sort this one out as the Brave and our referee, Kelvin Hudson, will give the call to us. Another rule here in this Spirit of America Bowl, no cut blocks. It's only legal at the Naval Academy when they're trying to run for those yards, Brandon, so that will back up a very promising Brave drive here as they go to make it a 2-score game.
That's a rule as an old D lineman I really, really like. I hated getting cut. There's nothing worse than having some dude throw at your legs, and next thing you know, you're laying on the ground, and you got your shins chewed up.
And again, here's some other rules. You must play 4 defensive linemen. No defensive lineman twists or slants, something you were good at during your time, Brandon, in the NFL. You can only blitz on 1st and 2nd down. No cut blocks. As you saw before, that led to that penalty, and no punt blocks. The ball is live once it is kicked. Bell to throw. Fires down the far side, and it's hauled in. Did he keep a foot in bounds? The referee's hat is off, meaning that he was out of bounds when he was pushed out of bounds before he caught that. Intended receiver on that pass was Landon Marlborough. We're going to hear a lot from Mr. Marlborough. Father played in the CFL.
That was a really good job by Bell, just kind of moving around in the pocket a little bit. The ball got away from him, though, a little bit. Marlborough ends up just out of bounds. It was a nice catch.
Coverage provided by Clem Robbins from Central State. Landon Marlborough at Morgan State. 13 receptions, 133 yards, average 10.2 per catch. So that penalty really hurt the Brave as they have to punt away, and it's caught at the 20. So we will see the Pride offense again as we will keep it here. 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter of the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. I'm John Kelly Jr. alongside Brandon Noble, and Abby Atwater is patrolling the sidelines. She was talking with Greg Hankerson a minute ago. We saw Terrian Ayers as the first ever quarterback, and he's going to get a second drive here, although it was Justin Kelly that really motored this team down the field on that opening drive, Brandon.
Yeah, he did a good job. They just fed him the rock. You know, he got going. The O-line was pushing. It was a thing of beauty. A little fullback action out there. I love it.
So it's a shotgun big, a receiver to either side. Ayers the go pass. Has a clean pocket, fires over the middle, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Brandon Barnes. Nice coverage provided on the play by Vincent Edwards, one of those excellent secondary players coming in this game from Kentucky State. Second down.
Yeah, that was a you know, I like the tight ends in this game. There's some big guys. They run really well. Looks like they're going to use them a little bit. They create matchup problems. That's what you're looking for in the NFL and the CFL. A guy that you can put on a safety, the guy that you can put on a linebacker, and he's faster or bigger or taller or whatever it is, and it creates a lot of issues for defensive coordinators.
Power to Kelly across the 20 to the 25. Oh, buried over someone at the 30 to the 31. That's how you finish a run, Brandon. Wow.
Yeah, that was a really good run. Again, they're just running that inside zone. He's pushing it to the front side of the play, and he felt the cutback there. It was really good vision right there. Cut it back, and then again, finish the run physically.
I give Will Lacey a lot of credit. He was the man who took that collision, making the tackle for the Brave. 8 seconds remaining here, and I think we're not going to run another play. So the Brave will lead 7-0, although the Prides have had a lot of success here on offense. Hopefully they can tie this one up, and our first quarter will come to a close. So after one here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex, it's 7 for the Brave and none for the Pride. First ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. Stick with us. Start of the second quarter as the Brave up 7-0 here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. And the Pride missed a field goal in their first drive in the first quarter, but trying to rally here and tie it at 7. 3 receivers are right, 1 to the left. High snap. Avrion Hurts is the new quarterback. And a good run by Kelly. That's his 10th carry to the 35. And he is wrapped up on the play by Cameron Sullivan. So we have a flag. Let's see what it is. So it's a first down. As I saw his lips move there, Brandon, I think you said that was on the defense.
Yeah, it looked like it. It was a good little run, man. A little draw, you know, thinking they were going to throw the ball. Hurts has done a good job, and what a career. And you know, it kind of runs in the bloodline, too. You know what I mean? They're a football family. Dad's a coach. Dad's a high school coach. Obviously, somebody else just won a pretty big game a couple weeks ago, and it's fun to see. You know, growing up in the game like I did, my kids play now. It's always fun to see when it's passed on.
It's his first series here, Avrion Hurts. 1st and 10 from his own 41. Keeps it himself and eaten up. Oh, man, mauled there by Brian Thames from Lane College, who was the first one to get him.
That was a great play, man. He was in the backfield before he even took off with the ball. That was amazing.
Abby Atwater is on the sidelines. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Marquise Ragland, and you're here with 5 other teammates from North Carolina A&T. What's it like to play with them one more time?
It feels amazing because we lost our last 2 regular season and postseason games. So coming up here, I was supposed to be the only one to come. Then I reached out to my teammates, and they said they were down for one last ride. So it feels really good. We got great chemistry, and you already know what happens when we get on the same field.
What has your experience been here like all week?
I loved it. You know, we've eaten good. You know, we're sleeping good. We're getting coached by some of the best coaches in the world, and it's just a great opportunity to practice in front of these scouts and everything.
And what can you offer these NFL scouts?
Passion, effort, playmaking ability. I'm accountable. I'm responsible, and I get the job done.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Brandon, man, did he have a great defensive lineman to play with, and Angelo Keys, over 30 sacks this North Carolina A&T team put up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-2 punch there, those guys. And look, you heard that guy, man. He's excited about playing this game. It's one more opportunity. That's what this is all about.
And that was the first run we got to see here from Kevon Jackson, the CFL Athlete of the Year. Led his team with 856 rush yards, and Javante Kelly in there to make the stop. So it's third down here for Avrion Hurts and his offense. He's going to set up a screen. Jackson couldn't handle it outside the numerals. And that was a nice setup there. Jackson got a little ahead of himself, Brandon.
Yeah, he did. You know, his eyes came up a little bit. Anytime you run in that screen, you know, you get a little nervous. Ball got behind him a little bit there. Again, it was set up. He had some big guys out in front of him. You saw you know, the big fellow there, Jalen Ware, who we talked about a little bit earlier. He's an NFL prospect.
Another big guy helped set the edge there. Vincent Jones on that incomplete screen pass. So punt coming up here from Cameron Maroof, who kicked it off here for us at Norfolk State. Low snap, has trouble handling it, and he's going to take it himself. Trying to get the perimeter outside the 40, but this will be nothing good again for the Pride. They've had special teams errors too, twice. They got a field goal block, they botched a punt return opportunity, and now they make a mistake here on special teams. What happened, Brandon?
I mean, the snap was just low. Maroof does a good job. He tries to get up and pick it. I mean, look, he's running the ball. He didn't just lay down. You got to love that as a punter. You know, usually those guys don't get hit a whole lot. They don't know what to do when the ball's in their hands. But give the kid credit. He did the best he could there. And again, special teams, one of those things that take a lot of preparation, a lot of work, and it's one of those things that sometimes you miss out on in these games.
So we'll see the first action from Ronald Butler here at quarterback. Tennessee State's amazing. First 3 games this year, started as a wide receiver, then after an injury to his quarterback, played the final 8, quite productive. Swings it outside, and a strong gain here deeper into Pride territory. Ronald Butler from Tallahassee played his high school football at Lincoln High School, where Antonio Cromartie played as well. That's a feeder program for Florida State, and that was a nice throw there.
It was a nice throw. Again, that's a kid that played wide receiver for the first 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, hey, we need you to play quarterback. And he comes in, and next thing you know, he's playing quarterback in an all-star game.
Jackson was the man who received that nice throw. And a little bit of a struggle up front, so a false start. And Brandon, to tell our viewers about this, you really only get 3 practices. It's great to look at the skill talent, the linebackers, everyone on the field, but you don't really get the best look at the offensive linemen because they're just practicing 3 days. They don't really have an opportunity to understand all those assignments.
Yeah, I mean, look, football's not an overly complicated game, but it's about teamwork, right? And it's about everybody being on the same page all the time. And so in these situations, you know, you're just a little bit behind. You're a little bit off schedule. You don't have that kind of time and prep, and new guys playing not necessarily new positions, but with new guys around them, and it can take some time to get used to each other.
So 2nd down and 7. Butler going to keep it himself. Dances outside the 40, dives past the 35. Nice run by Ronald Butler. He led the OVC with 26 total touchdowns. You could see why, because of his ability as a dual threat.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the guy played wide receiver, so this is a good run. You know, he just takes the ball, kind of works off tackle a little bit, sets up some blockers there, and then bounces it outside for a really, really nice game.
Talking about the pros, guy who played wide receiver and quarterback as well, Antoine Randall. Let's not forget him. Indiana played quarterback, set records there. Very successful career for the Steelers, then finished up for the Washington Redskins in this area when he got a little more money from Mr. Snyder.
Yeah, and he was a handful, man. I played against him a few times.
And Butler taken down. Great play by Demetrius Newberry from Chowan College, getting in there. Great pursuit, Brandon. Let's look at this.
Yeah, you'll see him come over here. He's going to come from the bottom of your screen. He's upfield. It's a great tackle. It's how you draw it up.
Chowan University also has a wide receiver in this game, in Ryan Nolan, one of the better players in his conference this year. It's funny about him, he's from Brick, New Jersey originally. You'll see him on the field later in this game, but actually finished his high school down here in Richmond, he told me this morning. Came here at 15. That's why he was down here at Chowan. Butler, quick pop pass, intercepted! Back the other way, come the Pride. Bryce Bradley, can he go all the way? He will. Touchdown Pride. They do it defensively.
That was a great job. That was a good call. They brought pressure up the middle. They slid the protection, and so the edge guy, you get a blitzer in the quarterback's face. You're going to see it coming here right off the edge, the left edge. Good. Again, it rushes the throw, doesn't allow him to step into it, right? Doesn't see him there. That's a great play.
And Reddit used his eyes to read the quarterback's eyes in that play as well. So the Pride used their defense here, and they're an extra point away from tying this one up, trying to stop the special teams issues that have hurt them so far. That's also something else pro scouts are looking for at the next level, the ability to really be a little bit further than the college level, the intellect. The NFL, you've been there, Brandon. It's a mental game. It's not as much X's and O's.
It is. It's 100. The mental side of that game, when you learn how to be a pro, it gets you a huge edge. And so the guys that are able to go in there quickly, learn a new system, and then kind of take it to the next level when you start learning about the game and what guys are doing, that's a huge part of it.
Successful there, special teams-wise, as Maroof kicks that through. So we are tied here with 10:32 to go in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. Brave opened the scoring on offense with Malcolm Bell's legs, cashing in on a turnover. And then just a minute ago, a great interception by Bryce Bradley took it to the house, and the Pride have evened it up at 7. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in this evening from Virginia Beach Sports Complex. I'm John Kelly Jr. My color analyst is 9-year NFL vet Brandon Noble, and Abby Atwater is on the sideline providing us with some excellent interviews. Have a few good ones at halftime too, Brandon. I'm looking forward to seeing. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a fun game. For me, I've been around for a few days. I got down here earlier in the week, got to spend some time on the field and watch these guys play and work, and got to talk to the coaches and meet them. And it's been a great experience for me too.
And Bradley had a 70-yard interception return for a score, so that is the number right there. And the first pick for Ronald Butler tonight. So both teams with a turnover apiece. Well, now we'll get to see some return here from the Brave. So he'll be sent away here by Cameron Maroof. Of course, later his teammate Greg Hankerson will step in. Norfolk State this year. Had a very good season. Again, the MEAC, as they call it. That's what our director, Sean Crobrin, told me. A lot of talent there. It's that area in the SWAC where you can really find some athletes. Tough matchups every Saturday, Brandon, as Maroof descended away. Trouble taking it behind the 10. And so, with a huge hit at the 2. Oh, man, some struggles off the bat there. Taking it. And a big tackle there put in play by Raheem Ledbetter.
That was a big hit. And look, this is one of the things that NFL scouts and CFL scouts want to see. They want to see guys play special teams and fly around and throw their bodies around. That's how a lot of these guys are going to make the team.
That's Ravonta Johnson. He's a recent add to the Brave roster from St. Augustine College. He was the one who muffed that kickoff. Also, another add you'll see on the Pride side came in today. You'll see him on the field. Aris Scott from Delaware State, number 73. Again, and the CEO and founder of Cutting Edge Sports Management, Neil Malvone, said, we do things on the fly here, John, but they put on a heck of an event here, and great work by the Gunners there on special teams, Brandon.
Absolutely. They were flying down the field. They were looking to hit something and cleaned that thing up real nice.
So Ronald Butler will try to do this one again. Gives it to Jackson. Gets across the 10. Nice run there. Used some stutter step there through that hole to try to fake out the interior.
Yeah, that was a real nice run. Again, the little bit kind of confusion or some issues with the handoff there. It was actually a low snap to the right. Quarterback did a great job getting that ball and bringing it back, and then just put your foot in the ground and go.
Brown checked that on that carry. He's been pretty good. Justin Kelly really good on the other side, as Shadid Cheeseborough had the tackle. As the Brave backed up their worst starting field position behind their own 10. 3 receivers are right, 1 to the left. They go with a pistol set here on a 2nd and 6. Brown takes it to the wide side, trips up himself inside the 10. They mark him at the 11, so it'll be a 3rd down upcoming. And the tackle provided by Stephen Williams from Benedict College.
That's a nice run. You know, it's unfortunate right here at the end. He almost gets ahead of himself too much there. Brown, he's sitting in the corner. They're in the pistol, which is great because what it does is it gives you the ability to kind of go both ways. When you offset the back to one side or the other, the defense can kind of get an idea as to what's going to happen. But when he's right behind the quarterback in that pistol formation, it makes the defense play it honest.
So 3rd and 4, the line to keep this one alive is the 16. Ronald Butler in for his 2nd possession. Threw a pick on the last one. Flag goes deep down the field to Bell Jr., and it's incomplete. And a pass interference going to be called as too tight there on the coverage. Coverage was provided by Bradley Street from Alabama State. And we're going to see what the call is because it was a pre-snap flag as well, Brandon.
Yeah, I don't know what we had here.
Looks like, to me, because it's tough because you got players in your screen blocking you there. Not sure if there was hand fighting or holding. As you look there at Lamont Brown, Morgan State, such a good player. You know, those injuries, we're going to see it with several players, had derailed a lot of their careers, but they've been able to be so successful in these HBCU conferences. I mean, Collins Moore, another guy we'll see later in the game, played at Ole Miss, had the backup to Laquan Treadwell, who was a first-round draft pick at Minnesota. So a lot you have to deal with. Now, take it away, Abby.
I'm here with Bryce Bradley, DB from Virginia State, just scored a pick 6. What does it mean to make a big play like that in a game like today?
It really feels good. You put in a lot of work and prepare for a moment like this. Guys had a rough week in practice, a lot of work put in, so it feels good, man, making a play like that on TV.
What has your experience been here all week?
It's been a great experience. Actually, really glad I came. I met a lot of guys from different parts of the nation, different colleges, different schools, different vibes, a lot of good players.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
So on that penalty, it moves the Brave offense out. Is Butler going to keep it himself across the 25, slides past the 30? So Ronald Butler, we're seeing him there, that giddy up, Brandon.
Yeah, he can run, man. And that was, again, it's that zone read. Quarterback keeps it, brings it back inside. Great job up front, moving people out of the way. I mean, he had a big space to run through right there, and then he goes for the slide.
Demetrius Newberry in on that tackle. He's been very active so far, defensive back from Chowan University. So it is 2nd and 5, good first down play. 3 receivers are right, 1 to the left. Butler with a 4-man rush, steps up, across the 30, and wrapped up just short of the 35. As George Feggins, the second in there from Virginia State. A lot of Virginia State players here on that roster. Feggins, one of the top linebackers at the school this year, Brandon.
Yeah, he did a good job there. Look, that was great pressure up front. I think Ragland was in there first, moved the pocket a little bit, got the quarterback off his spot, forced the run, and then the DN fell in and made the great play.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 2. Line to keep this drive alive is the 37. This began behind the 10 for the Brave offense, and nothing doing up front. And it's the big guys up front. There's Ragland, who just spent time with Abby Atwater in on the play. And it's going to be a long night here for these offensive linemen from the Brave because of just how strong Ragland, Keys, and up front they are.
Yeah, that's again, penetration. Watch that knockback right there, man. That's a great play. And Ragland's, he's a strong one too, man. I think he did like 30 reps of 225 during the combine this week. So, I mean, that's a strong kid.
And obviously he was in the top 5 in that bench press and squat. Denzel Keys at wide receiver, pretty darn strong as well. As the punt's sent away here by the Brave. So both defenses have settled down. Weaver Jr. starts from the 15. They lost the football across the 20. Did the Pride get back on it? A lot of dancing around. The referees are the judge where the ball will go. We've already had one muffed punt by the Pride. Hopefully this one doesn't hurt them, and it won't, so they'll keep the ball here. And their next drive will come up after these messages. We're even at 7, 6:53 to go in the second quarter on the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex here on the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. We are even at 7. John Kelly Jr., your color analyst, Brandon Noble, and Abby Atwater, a third member of our team, providing great interviews. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on that last exchange, if you were just watching here, in that muffed punt. So that's going to set the Pride up with some good field position here, Brandon, as the defense has their only points, a 70-yard INT by Bradley.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can get anything going offensively here. I think the Braves have done a really good job. They're running to the ball. They're tackling. The Pride, they could use a good drive.
They got a guy in the backfield in your screen, Justin Kelly, who's been great running the football. As Hurts still the quarterback, blitz coming off the near side, and he has trouble handling it out of the mesh point and ripped down at the 35. So a little bit of a struggle there. That sometimes happens as Nicholas Patterson in on the stop.
Yeah, what happened there was you had pressure coming off the edge, right? And it was attacking the mesh point, right? You're going to see it coming from the left there. He's attacking the mesh point real fast. That's a quick decision that the quarterback has to make. And sometimes if you're not quite on the same page there with what's going on, the ball hit the ground.
For our viewers there, when the guy crashes, normally Hurts should have kept that. Instead, he didn't really know what to do. And you're right. It's that split second. You got to make that decision. So that loses yards for this Pride offense. Second down for him. And 12 from their own 35. 3 wide shotgun here for Avrion Hurts on his second drive. Gonna throw. Fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. And it's amazing there because Verlin Hunter stopped on that route. He was wide open on the square end, and that's why he wasn't able to come down with that catch.
Yeah, again, that's where, you're going to see him. He's going to run upfield. Hurts does a good job, sits in there, throws the ball out, but there was a little miscommunication there maybe as far as what the route was. If he finishes that play, that's a big one. That's what they need right now. They need somebody to kind of spark things offensively to get it going. They had a great play on defense, a pick six. They need to get the offense going now.
Hurts during his time at Texas Southern, 1,857 pass yards. He throws a big-time deep ball. It's amazing. His father, Avrion, also is his name. He's the head coach at Channelview High School in Houston, in that Houston area, that Metroplex area. He switched from that pro-style high school offense to a more spread attack. And Brandon, Avrion was able to benefit from that and get looks at not D1 schools, but able to get looks below on the lower level. However, that really helped Jalen out. But when you're able to throw the deep ball and you run that spread, that really opens up the whole offense.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what college football has gone to, right, is this idea of we're going to put a lot of athletes out on the field and make you defend every single yard. The width and the length of the field. And that's what it does. And then when you get that guy that can run, you get an empty box. And the box is kind of that in between the tackle space that where you want your linebackers and your safeties sitting. When you've got 4 wide receivers on the field and they're split out wide, your safety, you're going to walk a linebacker out, so you're going to end up with less guys inside. That's when that mobile quarterback helps a lot.
And as Bill Belichick says, it's always a changing game, football. You see a lot of spread elements used, of course, by the Patriots. They use that ball control passing type of game. So it's made its way to the NFL. Of course, Bruce Arians likes to spread it out as well. 3rd and 12 for the Pride. The line to keep this drive alive is the 47. Hurts sets up a screen straight away, and it's eaten up as he was looking to Brandon Barnes, and that was beautifully read by Justin Hill, who played at Lane College. A lot of good players at Lane College on that defense, led by leading sack man this year, Whitney Richardson, and good in the secondary. Nice read.
That was a great job by Hill. I mean, that's a tough little play. They ran to empty, right? So they sent the running back out behind the 3 receivers, tried to fold the tight end underneath. That's a great play, great recognition, great eye discipline by Hill.
And Bruce Barker Jr. is back to receive. The punter right in your screen is Cameron Maroof. Had some trouble with that last punting exchange. This one's clean, and he kicks it away. Short punt, backspins at the 32, then goes to the 33, and is touched by A.J. McMinn. So we will now get to see the Brave go back on offense. We're even here at 7, second quarter, 5:09 to go. John Kelly Jr., Brandon Noble, Abby Atwater, your sideline reporter here. First ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl here. And all the scoring in the first quarter. 7 points from Malcolm Bell on a TD run. That was off of a botched punt return by the Pride. And then Bruce Bradley able to go 70 yards on an INT, the defensive score for the Pride. And that's where we stand. And teams seem settled in now, Brandon.
Yeah, I think the defenses have kind of settled down. You're seeing those kind of mistakes in special teams, which would be expected in a game like this. But somebody's going to pop one here soon.
We see the first action from a guy who can running at Chris Andrews as he is ripped down by Angelo Keys. He jumped right in, of course, a little trouble with the snap there for Chris Andrews. He's a left-handed passer. Tell our viewers here, is there a little bit of a difference?
Yeah, there is. You know, from what I heard, look, I played football for 20 years and nobody ever gave me the ball on purpose. So from what I understand, the ball spins different. It comes out of his hand a little different. And you look, as a D lineman, what it does is it creates a different type of pass rush. You have to rush a different way. You have to push him a different way. It has a bigger effect than you think.
So Andrews here, his second play here on his first drive. 2nd down and 15. Brave from their own 28 out of a 4-wide shotgun. Andrews going to roll left. This is where he can really let it go, and it gets blocked up there as Angelo Keys was right in his face. His mitts were there, Brandon.
Yeah, that's a great play. You know, again, there's some action there that's going to try and get Keys to bend down the line and go the other way with that zone look, but he gets a pulling guard at him. He reads it really well. And you know what I like is he doesn't really jump too much. He just runs through it, puts his hands up, knocks the ball down. Batted balls are a big part of the game now, and it's something that D linemen get a lot of credit for.
Keys, of course, first-team All-MEAC. Had a leg injury that stopped him in 2013. He runs a 4.65 40 vertical 40-yard dash. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's fast.
That is fast there. 3rd and 15. And he comes down and wraps up Chris Andrews. All 3 plays made by Angelo Keys. Keep that on the highlight reel.
Absolutely. That's a great series by that young man. And you see his speed there. I mean, look, he closed ground fast. You're going to see him come from the top of your screen. Nobody blocks him. They slide the protection the other way, and then he finishes, which is hard to do on a quarterback like Andrews.
It's a loss of 16. And the punting team coming out here for the Brave. Let's send it down to the 3rd member of our team, Abby Atwater.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jalen Ware, offensive lineman from Alabama State. What has your experience been like all week here?
Oh, I had a great experience here, just meeting a lot of other HBCU players and just getting to meet some really nice people, really good people, great athletes and football players. So I'm glad to see that we're really competitive in HBCU all around the nation.
And what can you offer NFL scouts?
I'm offering a very committed player. I'm offering one of the best tackles in the NFL draft coming out this year. So whatever you want, I can give you.
Thanks so much, Jalen. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a ton there, Abby. Great sideline interviews from Abby Atwater, our 3rd member of our team, as we're even at 7, 3:25 to go 2nd quarter.
Jalen's a great kid. I got to talk to him a little bit this week, and he's awesome.
Well, that was a great drive for Angelo Keys. Let's break this down.
Well, look, the first one was, you know, that's a bad snap, but again, it's pursuit from the backside with Keys, chases the ball down. This was a great play right here. Being an old D-line coach, that's what you want. Your DN doesn't get sucked down on the run action, and you just see him flying off the right side of your screen there, finishing the play. That's not a bad way to finish a series.
No, he looked outstanding. That's the best we've seen from him this evening. As Avrion Hurts with his 3rd drive fires down the middle. Looked like there was some contact with Denzel Keys and a few secondary guys. No flag is out. And a player who was in on that, Dietrich Jones, he blocked that field goal by the Pride that denied them 3 points. So that's why we're tied at 7 and it isn't 10-7.
Get a little trouble with the snap there. Ball floats a little bit.
Trevon Spencer also in on that play. And as we mentioned, first player in Kentucky State history to record over 100-plus tackles. John L. Smith, you know him coming from the Big Ten ranks, was at Michigan State. What a great job in his first year turning that one around.
Yeah, he's a good football
Turning
coach.
the corner here is Kelly on the run. And, man, I'm very impressed from what we've seen from Justin Kelly. Brandon.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job. What I really like is that he's run inside and outside, right? This is just an outside zone or a stretch play. You see him get the edge there, and again, I love the way that he finishes. I mean, look, he's fast, he's shifty, but at the end of the day, he's going to put his shoulder pad down. He's going to try and punish the guy coming to tackle.
Will Lacey was in there on the stop, the Los Angeles, California native. Led his team in 2014 with 48 solo tackles and 66 total tackles on the toss. Here's Kelly into Brave territory to their 46. He keeps churning it out. And this is, you know, we've talked about the spread, Brandon. Obviously, that's something that's, you know, changed in the NFL. But there are some guys that definitely want to pound it and want that back to take the 15 to 20 carries. And I like what we've seen out of Kelly so far. He's not slowing down.
No, he's running hard, man. That was a great tackle right there. I think that was Phil Williamson came in, the linebacker from Winston-Salem State. That was a solid hit on a good running back.
The Pride in Brave territory for the second time this game, being driven by Avrion Hurts, that quarterback from Texas Southern. Steps back as time, fires over the middle, and it's in two pairs of hands. Who comes up with it? As his pass was intended for A.J. Mundell, Elizabeth City State, and he came down with it.
It's a way to fight for that ball. Let's see what happens. You had two guys running seam routes right there in the middle. Four guys in there. You got a pretty good chance of somebody catching it. That's a way to fight. I mean, look, they're all tugging for that thing in there. That's a great job holding on to it.
Great effort there, too, by Vincent Edwards, another one of those good players in the secondary from Kentucky State. On the sweep, here comes Kelly. Flag pre-snap. Across the 25, stretches for the 20. So a nice solid gain. We'll see what this flag is about. 1:38 to go here in the second quarter. 7-7 game. Brandon, reminding a lot of fans, if they're watching on the East Coast here, the New York Giants, they're just running the clock here with the run game.
Yeah, this is old school football. You know, they're running the ball, throwing it when they have to. Again, it's just easier to do. And when you've got guys like Kelly that can run it, you know, feed them. I mean, that's how these guys get better, right? Let's see what we got there.
And it'll be a first down awarded here to the Pride. Will Lacey on that stop. And, you know, you got to really like what Kelly does. He reads his holes nicely, then gets to the outside and keeps churning those legs. You always preach that to a running back, Brandon.
It's physical, man. I love the way he finishes his runs. You know, he doesn't avoid contact. He runs through it. You know, that's a tough position to play. You got 11 people trying to hit you every snap.
So can the Pride get in the end zone? They were deep in this territory and missed a field goal as Kelly on the handoff, this time eaten up, as good penetration off the edge there. And tackle made by Thames. Brian Thames, DN from Lane College.
That's the second time he's shown up in the backfield, man. That's a good play. He does a good job, just slips the block, gets in between the guard and the tackle, and the next thing you know, he's got a tackle for loss.
He's from Manning, South Carolina, and you know, he's used to sliding like that, Brandon. Played DED tackle and linebacker at his high school in Manning, South Carolina. Saw a lot of triple option offenses when he was there, so you got to be off the ball pretty quickly when you face that.
And disciplined.
44 seconds to go here in the first half. 2nd and 9. Pride trying to take the game's first lead. Hurts the pass to the corner, and it's incomplete. Great coverage by Raymond Malone, and the intended receiver on that pass was Verlin Hunter.
That was a good job by Malone. He was right in his hip pocket, right where you want him to be. You're going to see him here to the left. Right, it's good protection. Floats the ball up there. It's a good job fighting for that ball. It almost looked like he caught that.
Well, right now, coming into the game, well, you don't see him in our screen, is Denzel Keys. He is a red zone threat at wide receiver. He had 25 career touchdown receptions at North Carolina A&T. Broke Craig Thompson's record of 19. But you have to understand something, too. 13 of those 29 touchdown receptions came in the red zone, so I would look for Hurts to look to him here.
Yeah, he's a big target down here.
3 receivers are bunched right. Keys lone to the left. Hurts is flushed on this 3rd and 9. Going to keep it himself. And pushed out of bounds. Great work there by Dietrich Jones. He's been an active defensive back on special teams, on defense, all around it there. And with 28 seconds to go in the game, even at 7, we'll see. Field goal or go for it. Brandon, you got a kick block. Do you keep the offense on the field?
Yeah, I think you do at this point. You know, you get it. We've had some bad snaps. We've had some issues. Keep the offense on the field, but that's why I'm not a head coach, because they're going to go kick it.
And that's what they're going to do here. Well, we just mentioned a guy, Dietrich Jones. Watch out for him here off the edge. He blocked the last field goal opportunity in the first quarter by the Pride. This is going to be a 22-yard attempt. Aroof 0 for 1. Can he go 1 for 2? Give the Pride their first lead. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Hold is good kick by Maroof. Put some juice on this one. And through the uprights, and the Pride have the game's last 10 points, and they lead 10-7, 24 seconds away here from halftime on the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl.
It's a good drive. You know, just physical, ran the ball, moved it just methodically down the field. Again, you obviously want to come away with a touchdown down there, but at the end of the day, 3 points going into halftime with a lead, hopefully. And it should be, you know, they should go in 10-7 here. You don't want to give up points on the other side, though. It's always tough. Defensive coordinators hate it when you get scored on right at the end of a half. And it's one of those things, they're going to go in, they'll make some adjustments now, but you want to leave with that stop.
And let's look at that scoring drive by the Pride to take the lead 10-7. Did it running the football, Brandon. Justin Kelly the key.
Yep, just feed him, man. Feed him. Look at that guy. I mean, look, he's running through it. Watch him put his shoulders down and finish the runs. Just a physical running back.
Then, of course, a great hold. Nice kick here by Maroof. Able to put it through the uprights. And the last 10 points been scored by the Pride with 24 seconds remaining here in the first half of a defensive and pound running game type of first half here. First ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. And now Maroof will kick it away. Nice kick. And trouble fielding it at the 2 by Priester. He's able to get out of play here, and with 20 seconds to go, you're deep in your territory. Brandon, do you go deep here? You have a couple timeouts left, or do you go to halftime?
Well, I think in this situation, in a game like this, you know, an all-star game, you might as well go for it. You know, it's 10-7. See if you can take a couple shots down the field here. You've got some timeouts. You know, why not?
So Chris Andrews, will he come out? Of course, Gustavus Patterson and him very familiar with one another. Coached him. He's, of course, Coach Patterson, the offensive coordinator at Wagner, the head coach here of the Brave. And Brave gets set up, and Malcolm Bell will be the quarterback, not Chris Andrews. So with 20 seconds to go, can we get a late score here to respond to a 10-7 ball game? And it looks like we have a referee's looking for a personal timeout.
This is one of those situations where, you know, there's communication issues sometimes. Again, it's new people working together. And football is such, it's not complicated, but it's intricate and it's detail oriented. And it's one of those things where in a situation in an all-star game, any all-star game, not this one, any all-star game, you're going to have communication breakdowns. You're working with new people, new terminology. I mean, these guys had to come in here and in 3 or 4 days learn a whole new offense with a whole new set of terminology. New combination blocks, new defenses, new coverages, things that you may not have ever seen as a player. But that's what's going to happen when you go to the NFL. You may be on 2 or 3 different teams. You may have 2 or 3 different coaches. So you have to be able to adapt and adjust and play what's called.
And it looks like we're going to have a victory formation here. So the Brave going to sit on it and let the final seconds roll off. 15 seconds to go, so they'll roll off here. Pride with the last 10 points. They lead at halftime in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, 10-7. Brandon, nice first half of action.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of good physical runs. Obviously, you know, you want to see it a little bit cleaner in the special team stuff. Been some great defense, a pick six, some good pass rushing, some big hits. I've enjoyed it so far.
And we'll send it downstairs to the third member of our team, Abby Atwater, will have head coach Patterson momentarily in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. It's 10-7, Pride at half. Thank you for tuning in here tonight, as Abby will have Coach Patterson and talk things over. And he has a lot to definitely to smile about. And Abby is downstairs. Take it away, Abby.
Coach, what has your team shown in the first half?
I think the first thing is we got to kind of clean up the special team mistakes a little bit right now. I think we came out a little nervous, kids making a little mistake, so we had to kind of settle down a little bit. And just from an offensive standpoint, we got to clean up the pass game. I'm happy with the run game so far, but the pass game has got to come along, and we got to finish drives on offense. But the special teams are a little shaky coming out, and we'll get that fixed at halftime, and we'll be better in the second half coming out.
And what has your experience been here like all week?
It's been nothing but first class. It's very professional. I mean, cutting-edge sports. They do a really good job of putting on a really good event. A lot of people in the nation is not aware of Neil Malvon and his commitment into football and providing opportunities, not just for players, but for coaches like myself who wants to continue on and help young men and create another platform for myself as well as others.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
An excellent first half. The Pride with the last 10 points. They lead at halftime 10-7 here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. We'll come back here with a little bit more at halftime. (10-7) Pride at halftime. Let's look at some of the first half stats, Brandon.
Hey, look, this was a good football game. A lot of running. It's a great job by Bell going around the corner here. He's been really effective with his feet today.
That opened our scoring, made it 7-0 in favor of the Brave. And then, of course, the Pride had a chance, but Dietrich Jones blocking that field goal, Brandon.
Yeah, low kick. You know, they all jumped up in the air there. It was a good play.
And Malcolm Bell showed that he can look downfield, too. Look at this. Connects with Jonathan Dorsey. And he was scrambling on that throw, Brandon.
Yeah, that was a good play by Dorsey and Bell to keep it alive. And this is a heck of a play right here.
Bryce Bradley evens us up with a 70-yard INT return. And he just pit-pocketed Ronald Butler. He saw that slant the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great play. Good pressure in his face. He made a great break on the ball. Pick 6.
And right here, Angelo Keys, what a sack on this play.
He had a great series right there. I mean, he batted a ball, right? Then he gets the sack right here. He was all over the place.
Well, 3 downs on that drive. He made all the plays.
Yep.
As here's our first half statistics. 50 yards passing for the Brave, 21 for the Pride, 35 yards rushing for the Brave, 69 for the Pride. Justin Kelly, big running back there for the Pride, really helping him mow down the field. Pride with 8 first downs, and they have the 7 points off of turnovers. But mentioning Justin Kelly, his running game's why you have 8 first downs down.
Hey, look, that guy's he's a thumper. He runs the ball between the tackles hard. I love watching him go. They're going to give him the rock some more.
Second. So 10-7 here at halftime. We will step aside in second half coming your way soon in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. About at the start of the second half, Pride in front 10-7 here on the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, as the Pride team getting excited there on the sideline, trying to get fired up. All the practices, this is what you play for, Brandon. And staying on that word practice, the special teams, you were telling me here, and I agree, have to be cleaned up here in the second half for both of these squads.
Absolutely. I mean, look, it's been a big part of the game. You've had a block kick, you've had some muffed punts, some fumbles on kickoff returns. All these guys, if they have an opportunity to go play in the NFL, they're going to have to play on special teams. People don't realize that's a huge part of this game. And the big thing here is a lot of these guys may not have had to play special teams on their team. You don't always put your best wide receiver, your best running back, or your best linebacker on special teams because you don't want them to get hurt. There's other guys on the roster that do that for you. In the NFL, everybody has to do it. When I came into the NFL, I was not only a defensive tackle, but I was also the wedge, or part of the wedge, right? I was the wedge captain, and I did that even my 4 years in Dallas, I was the wedge captain for 4 years. Now, thankfully, they got rid of the wedge because there's a lot of collisions there, but I was a starting nose guard and in the wedge, so you got to be able to do everything.
You see the Brave getting ready here for the second half. 10-7, Pride with the last 10 points. Brave opened the scoring, and we mentioned special teams. The Pride muffed a punt, and then Malcolm Bell cashed in from 15 yards out. Pride tied it at 7 with a 70-yard interception return by Bryce Bradley, and then Maroof knocked down a 29-yard field goal. The Pride have used the running game to really move the ball methodically down the field, Brandon. I don't think that's going to change in the second half.
No, it'll be interesting, though, because eventually what happens is when you run the ball like that and your safeties are coming up and making plays and your linebackers are coming up, it should open the passing game up. So I'd really like to see these guys get the tight ends involved, get the passing game going a little bit. That's why you run the rock like that. And they've done a great job pounding the football, physical. The O-line's done amazing, but now it's time to open it up a little bit. Let these guys throw the ball downfield, and that's why you run the ball like that.
And maybe the reason for the Pride being so good running the ball is the offensive lines. A lot of these linemen, very diverse. They've played tackle. They've played left guard. And the most important position on the line, Brandon, they played center. So they give all the checks to the quarterback. And we've seen that here. I can tell you with 3 practices, it's pretty impressive to see the holes open like this.
Absolutely. And a big part of it, too, is that big fellow that Abby interviewed, Jalen Ware. I mean, look, he is a big, very, very athletic man. And he has done a great job out there. I've watched him move people off the ball. He has great feet, right? He's driving his guy, and they're able to get around the corner, get around the edge because they've got him out there.
Looking in your screen right there, there's Ronald Butler and Chris Andrews, 2 of the 3 quarterbacks on the Braves squad. Here's Justin Kelly. He was motoring that rushing attack for the Pride. Let's look at some highlights of him, Brandon.
Great job. Again, I keep going back to it, man. He's a physical runner. He's not trying to run out of bounds there. He had the opportunity to go out of bounds, and he didn't. This is a good one. You got Big McMahon out there blocking for him in the front, fullback on the field. I love it, but Kelly's a bruiser.
Right here, nice read here with his blockers, and he gets the yards, keeps churning his legs.
Yep. But again, that's just tough physical running. That's what you want to see from a back. That position's changed so much over the last few years, but he's done a great job.
And A.J. McGinn, I could see why Tariq Cohen rushed for 5,600 yards at North Carolina A&T. When you have a guy like that road grader, man. So John Barron sends it off. We are playing the second half here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. And the problems continue here on special teams fielding the kick, but they don't hurt the Pride this time. And they'll begin at their own 19 here on the first offensive drive of the second half, up 10-7, 14:53 to go. And some troubles there with the kick. You think the lights are a factor here, Brandon?
It might be. You know, it's a little chilly out there. The ball's a little different, and Street had a tough time handling it there. Look, that's one thing I would never have wanted to do on the football field is return a kick or a punt. There's a lot of crazy people running down looking to hit you. So, you know, I can get it. But at the end of the day, these guys are getting judged by that.
First action we'll see from Greg Hankerson, who played at Norfolk State. Third in the MEAC with 1,718 passing yards. The handoff goes right back to the man we talked about this game, Kelly. Not much going on, and that's going to be key here to the defense of the Brave, the adjustments on these run plays by the Pride.
Absolutely. I think Philip Williamson came in there, did a great job, stepped in from his linebacker position and filled the hole, took Kelly backwards. And that's one thing. Kelly's finished facing forward most of the game, right? He's going the way that he wants to go. As a defense, you've got to take these guys and you've got to turn them around, make sure they're not finishing towards the goal line.
Devon Spencer, you see in your screen. Keelan Jones, good linebacker. Spencer playing safety. So it'll be a second down and 10 for the Pride offense. Their own 21. Hankerson the pass, drills to the center, broken up as his intended target was Denzel Keys, and great breakup by Jarrell Priester for Winston-Salem State.
That was a good job by Priester right there. And look, Hankerson put that ball on a rope, man. That was a good throw. Little bit in front of Keys, but hey, that's a good break on the ball. It's good defense.
Hankerson had a great season, too. His 2,052 passing yards were the 6th most in single-season school history. His 2,475 total offensive yards, 5th most in a single season in school history. And what's crazy about him, he's the first Norfolk State quarterback to play 2 seasons since Chris Wally in 2011. So stability at the quarterback position from 2 years from him.
Yeah, that's a huge part of the game. It's period at every level. It doesn't matter. If your quarterback's there and you've got him for a few years, you're going to be all right.
Has a 3rd and 10 from the 21 line to keep it alive is the 31 of the Pride. Hankerson with time. Now pocket closes, fires far side, and it's incomplete as he was looking down the field for Jordan Garrison, tight end from Bowie State. Great coverage, and 3 and out for the Pride, and the Brave will go on offense here for the first time in the second half.
That's a good stop by the Brave. I mean, that was a good series. They came in, they filled, they tried to go back to the run game with Kelly. They filled the hole, stopped them. First time in a while they've held them to, a yard or two. And then, look, a great break on the ball, kind of some good pressure there. Hankerson had to step up in the pocket, floated one out. He wasn't set up mechanically to throw it, and it floated on him a little bit.
Maroof with a kick. Spiraling, kicks it nice and high, and it's received at the 39, so that is where the Brave will go on offense. That's probably the best punt we've seen from Maroof tonight, Brandon. Something you want to have from punters as you go to the NFL, that hang time that you need, and he showed it there.
Yeah, the ball's got to sit up there. You want your coverage unit to get down there and get down there fast, but at the end of the day, it's the punter's job to make sure that ball floats, gets up high enough, gets some distance. Again, another skill set that I never picked up or never had to apply.
I used to give it a try in my backyard, Brandon, and I didn't have a lot of success too, although the punting kick and my golf swing kind of the similar deals. But from the course to the gridiron, as the Brave trying to respond here, open the scoring. They've now given up the last 10 points as Malcolm Bell will scramble, hit nice and hard there. He's got to slide, Brandon. Got to be careful. As Jarius Moore in there on the stop.
Yeah, that's one of those deals that quarterbacks, they learn, especially when you get into the NFL. All of a sudden, that safety is going to get there that step faster. That's a good job by Bell. Look, he sees they're covered up. Tuck the ball, run, get some yards. But at the end of the day, that was kind of like he wasn't quite sure if he was going to slide or if he was going to try and run him over.
Brown's in the backfield with him. He has 4 wide receivers out. On a 2nd and 6, good 4-yard gain he had. His own 43. His team trying to retake the lead. Has time, fires over the middle, incomplete. Put a little too much juice on that as he was looking for Ernest Bell Jr. on the slant. And the coverage provided by Bradley Street, who evened this game up at 7. What'd you see there, Brandon?
Just a quick slant. The ball just got away from him a little bit. They're not quite on the same page right now. Again, that's from working with different people. It's new people. It's all timing.
So Bell now with a 3rd and 6 from his own 43, checks to the sideline here. They see something in the coverage. We see this in college, Brandon. So they're going to change the play. They normally look to the sideline. Line to keep this one alive is the 48. 4-man rush. No blitzing here on 3rd downs in our rule book here in the Spirit of America Bowl. Bell fires under pressure, and it's incomplete. Nice effort there by Akil Washington. He just couldn't scoop it up, and the Brave left to punt it away.
I think Keys was there again, putting the pressure on him.
And check that. It was Collins Moore who almost scooped that up. Moore, of course, transferred from Ole Miss. Again, he had 2 injuries, too. Shoulder injury, leg injury. It's very tough when you have to back up Laquan Treadwell, who was the 1st-round draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings. Hugh Freeze has a lot of good wide receivers there, but he used the graduate transfer rule, and he had a very productive career at Alcorn State.
Absolutely. That's what you've got to do now, right? You get in a position where you don't get to play a lot. You get the opportunity. You graduate, which is why you go to school.
Gotcha.
And you're rewarded by that.
Gotcha.
And you get to go play someplace else if you need to.
As Barron sends that one away, Weaver Jr. gets mauled, and he's taken down on the play. Well, we've seen a lot of talent today. One of the key reasons why is the man down on the sideline with Abby Atwater.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Eric Galco, Director of Player Personnel for the game. Eric, what is your role here for the game?
Yeah, my role here is 2 things. One, it's getting the best HBCU players at the game, the best small school players, these guys from the MAC, SWIAC, CIAA, and SAIC. My job is to scout them, talk to NFL scouts in the season, talk to coaches around the league, and find out what guys they want to see here and play in front of NFL scouts. My main focus by the week of practice is making sure these NFL scouts are taken care of and making sure that these guys have an opportunity to play at the next level.
What experience do you want the players to get out of being here?
Yeah, the biggest thing is, first off, we want to celebrate their careers. Most importantly, these guys are playing their last college game. We want to make sure they can kind of enjoy themselves and have a great event, but also play on national TV for a game like this and get that last bit of exposure, and then certainly making sure the NFL and CFL scouts are happy and want to see these guys again.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks.
As a deep ball down the field and incomplete, as that was intended on the play for Verlin Hunter. And as we get a chance here to look in our screen, we have top 10 draft prospects here from the NFL in this game. Who do you like in your screen here, Brandon?
Well, I mean, look, we've talked about Jalen Ware a lot. I mean, he to me is the guy, when you look at him, you say, this guy is an NFL tackle. I mean, he's tall, he's long, he's got great feet. Brandon Barnes, same thing. Dorsey, we got a couple really good tight ends here that can do what the NFL wants, right? They're matchup problems. They're tall guys, they're long, they can run, they can catch. Again, it's an opportunity for an offense to put a defensive coordinator in a tough position because he doesn't have to match up that he wants.
Hankerson gives, And it's Kevon Jackson getting to the 25. So third down upcoming. A guy we saw on that screen Ware really just so good. You were so impressed with him at the offensive line position. But Jonathan Dorsey, a guy that I'm really interested to see because he was in our highlight package at halftime in that first half, caught that ball from Malcolm Bell when he was scrambling. He's a hybrid tight end, led the SWAC in all receiving categories. And listen, in the NFL, it's a changing game. The Patriots have used the tight end position to be so successful, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities, and we like what we've seen from him.
Absolutely. He's that guy. He's the matchup problem that what I was just talking about. You look at, he's not Gronk, but that's what Gronk creates. He creates that issue.
I think Denzel Keys has the same big hands that Gronk has. 3rd and 5 for Greg Hankerson. Flushed out, nice, keeping his eyes downfield. Fires, far side. Can Hunter make the catch? No, it was a good effort as the coverage provided on the play by Guy Stallworth, one of these guys we've talked about, and a punt coming here from the Pride.
That was a good job by the D-line there. You know, they collapsed the pocket, made Hankerson get outside of it. They continued to chase, and then again, it's just causing pressure, right? When you're a D-lineman, you don't necessarily have to sack that guy, right? But you want to get him off his spot, right? D-end right there does a great job, collapses the pocket. Then it's just about everybody covering up. You see it in the NFL all the time right now. It becomes a scramble drill. And the receivers all start running around. The DBs have to keep their eyes on them, and the D-line has to hunt the quarterback down.
So we'll have a punt here from Maloof, who's given the Pride the game's lead here for them. Their only lead, 10-7. It's a fake punt. Open far side across the 35. And I think we're going to see here it was a 4th and 5 and another first down for the Pride. That was nice, executed on special teams. We'll talk more about this after Abby with this interview on the sideline.
I'm here with Malcolm Bell, quarterback from North Carolina Central. You scored the first points in the game. You're having a big game, rushing touchdown. How do you think this game's going for you?
It's going pretty good. I just had to settle down in the early moments of the game and get myself together. But I think I'm putting on a good showing out here.
Yeah, and how is this experience all week on for you?
It's been great. Just, meeting other guys from other schools and, just sharing your experiences and your, just what you did at other schools. It's just a great experience.
Last time playing as a college athlete, what does that mean to you?
It's just on to bigger and better things. Just, a next chapter, another book opening. So, it's just great.
Good luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
A little too much spice on that pass by Denzel. Catch opportunity by Denzel Keys. Pass was thrown in by Hankerson. But that was this new drive for the Pride all set up by Damon King. Nice running play there and that fake punt, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. A D lineman gets the ball on the fake punt. I mean, look, they're sitting in that kind of that wall, right? You're going to see King right here on the left. Little short snap to him. Catches the ball and being the athlete that all D linemen are, gets around the corner and gets the first down.
And keeps this drive alive for the Pride. It's now to their own 31 with a 2nd and 10 and some movement. And our lines judge on the near side coming in saying that it was a false start. We haven't seen many of those, Brandon. Again, just 3 practices. You got to be impressed with what you've seen from the O-line.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job. Again, that's a tough position to play because everybody has to be together and on the same page. And they have. You're not seeing those kind of false starts and the issues that sometimes you get a lot of holding calls in games like this. They're playing a clean game.
Some good linemen there up front. Anthony Mosley played for Southern. First team all-SWAC offense. Man, great receiver they had down there. Willie Quinn set school records this year. Was supposed to be playing here for this Pride squad, but is not. So other guys getting their opportunity. Next man in philosophy. 2 receivers are right, 1 to the left. Hankerson in at quarterback. And he's going to call a timeout and go talk it over on the sideline. 10-7 in favor of the Pride. 11:15 to go here in the third. We'll keep it here. John Kelly Jr., Brandon Noble, Abby Atwater. And let's talk about some players that have been big in this game. Let's start with Justin Kelly, who's really helped this Pride offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we've seen what he can do, right? He's proved himself. In that first 30 minutes, he was the guy that moved the football for the Pride, and he did it well. Again, I go back to his physical style of running. That's something that I love to see, but at the same time, understand that the physical punishment that kid's probably taken on over the course of his career. That's why running backs don't last very long in the NFL, man. every parent wants their kid to be a running back. Next thing you know, they're getting hit by everybody. Sometimes O-line isn't so bad.
You look at some notable players that played in the HBCU. Before his record was broken, Jerry Rice had the all-time record in receiving in college football at Mississippi Valley State. Of course, Michael Strahan from the Giants. There he is. Doug Williams, very famous Super Bowl winning quarterback, first African-American to do it. All 4 of those touchdowns, too, Brandon, were in the first quarter in that Super Bowl. I didn't watch because I was too young, but at Chester Rogers, who played in last year's Dream Bowl, and you can catch that tomorrow. And obviously, some good darn players here. Javon Hargrove, what a great year he had for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's Kelly on the swing pass across the 25 to the 27-yard line. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 15 as Javonte Kelly on the stop. Lane College had some great players this year. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast about Whitney Richardson. He led them with 17.5 sacks. Javonte Kelly was on that dominant defense that produced 31, and he led the team with 75 total tackles. It's great, the defense we've had an opportunity to see out of the HBCU, including the SIAC conference. Carried a lot of teams this year. 3rd and 14. Hankerson to the air, flushed out. Gonna keep it on his feet, fires near side, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Akil Washington. And I'm not sure if they have a face guarding rule, but Raymond Malone on the coverage, and there'll be a punt upcoming.
That was a nice rush by Thames there, coming off the right edge, flushes the quarterback out. Now, this is what's big here, right, is he's a right-handed quarterback running to his left. As a D lineman, that's what you want because he's uncomfortable. You could see his throwing motion was really bad there, and it turned into an incompletion and a 4th down.
I can hear the groans looking at that replay in the screen. And so Maroof will send it away. Akil Washington, the intended target in your screen there, just in 5 games of his senior year. That's all he played because of injury. But as a junior, 32 catches, 378 yards, 3 TDs. Very good player. Again, you know, Brandon, that's the deal about 4 years in college. Injuries can derail your career. I do believe with that graduate transfer rule, for some kids, it's given them a second try. Some of them are on the field here in our first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl.
Yeah, it is, and it's an important rule that they've allowed. They've kind of opened up, and because it does give you that opportunity when you get bypassed, when you have injury issues. Sometimes you just don't fit. Look, college coaches, the turnover now is incredible. All of a sudden, the guy that recruited you may not be there anymore. The system that you were recruited for may not be there anymore. So it's an opportunity for guys, again, they're rewarded because they graduate to go play their final year of football someplace else.
Solid boot by Maroof. That was a 43-yard punt. So the Braves began on their own 30, 10:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It was 10-7 at halftime in favor of the Pride. It was a 7-7 game after 1 quarter. Malcolm Bell started the scoring. Pride responded with a Bryce Bradley 70-yard interception return. And then Maroof, the man who just laid that 43-yard punt, made it 10-7 and almost picked off again. Another pick-6 opportunity, almost taken the other way by Christian Wilson.
That was a good break on the ball.
And that's the key, is really Bell, his eyes were there, and the route is very key too when you get to the next level, getting open, Brandon, because if cornerbacks see you telegraphing it, they're going to get you, and they're going to get that pick. Also accuracy, very key too. Played at Bowie State. So a 2nd and 10 for Malcolm Bell. As Kevon Jackson gets across the 30 and then loses the ball, but he was down. Bowie State, where Christian Wilson played. And the tackle made on the play by Demarius Williams from Alabama A&M. So 3rd down and 7 upcoming here, Brandon. And as the teams have gone to the air, we've seen the offensive production go down in both of these squads. Running the ball really looked good in that first half. They're able to move down the field. Of course, passing a lot more goes and tails there.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where as an offense, running the ball should open it up. But again, you're looking at guys that have never played football together, at least most of them, right? So that's why quarterbacks and receivers spend so much time together in the offseason, so they know how the ball comes out, they know how they run their routes, and they get to know each other.
3rd and 7, line to keep this alive as the 40. Bell under pressure, scrambling. Chase down, drills to the near side, and it's incomplete. As he was looking for Deshaun McKenzie, played at Jackson State. And nice job there on the far side. Great pass rush pursuit by the Pride.
Yeah, that pocket collapsed really, really quick. That's a good rush there by actually that was King again who got him flush the first time, got him out of the pocket. He just had a fake punt. Now he had a really good pressure.
King with that nice fake punt. Man, he showed some wheels. You can see why he can fly on the defensive end position.
D linemen are athletes, man.
Angelo Keys, a 4.65 40. As John Barron will send it away for the Brave. Wobbly kick, short. Back spins, got to get away from it. Touch the Pride guy. That's a live ball. And the Brave have it with an opportunity to retake the lead. We'll go to a break, 10-7 in favor of the Pride in the first ever Spirit of America Bowl. And we'll keep it here. Great opportunity for the Brave as special teams continuing to be the kryptonite.
Yeah, it's interesting, in these games.
Let's look at it right here. You always try to tell your blockers, get away from the ball. And what happens? It deflects off of Bryce Bradley.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's usually a poison call or a Peter call, and it's the punt returner's job to get everybody away from it. But at the same time, when you're the guy blocking for him, you need to listen to that call, be keyed into it, and as soon as you hear it, you need to run to the sideline. That's usually what coaches tell you to do.
And that's where we'll go, to Abby Atwater.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Brian Thames, DE from Lane College. Brian, you're having a great game. What does it mean to have a great game on national TV?
Wow, I'm just really inspired. I'm just thankful for the opportunity that, the HBCU Classic gave me to come out here and perform to the best of my abilities. I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Can you tell me a bit about this week and your experience here?
Man, starting off, it was good. We had the scouts coming in, that was big motivation for everybody. We were just happy to see the scouts, and basically they just gave us the truth, let us know that it's going to be a certain percent that's going to make it and a certain percent that's not going to make it. It's all about your work ethic. So all this week, that's all we was working on, trying to work hard, and that's what I did.
And what do you have to offer NFL scouts?
A hard-working young man, one who will never quit, never stop. That's it.
Thanks so much, Brian. Good luck.
Thank you.
As Andrews here keeps to the 25 straight away on that previous play, as you saw on your screen, a little flea flicker action as he was trying to go downfield. Give a lot of credit on that play to Clem Robbins. He was stuck like glue on that wide receiver. Brandon.
Yeah, no, that was good coverage. It's a good job. Defense is about you having good eyes, right? You want to always have your eyes where they're supposed to be. And the flea flicker is designed to take your eyes away from where they're supposed to be, right? You're going to see the run. All of a sudden, everybody's going to think it's run. All of a sudden, if you're not in your coverage, that guy's running down the field scot-free. He did a great job sticking with it. Again, that's disciplined football right there.
So a 3rd and 7 for the Brave. They got a fumble on a second botched punt by the Pride. Can they cash in? Blitz coming. Firing to the far side. Edwards, no one home. Check that. Andrews on the throw. And great job on that blitz. Well timed by Stephen Williams. Shot right through the gap.
That's a good job. They run a little cross here. Stephen Williams shoots up number 33. Pressure right in the quarterback's face. He can't step up. He can't get the strength, the accuracy into the throw that he wants. The other thing is that's one of the reasons that sometimes they don't blitz a lot in these games, because O-line protections are pretty intricate, and all of a sudden you run into a couple blitzes, and then you don't want to get your quarterbacks hurt.
So John Barron was 6 of 9. 46 is his long. He'll kick this field goal, so we know he has some legs. And trouble there on the hold, although it looked like we had an offside. Someone jumped, so the Brave may have an opportunity here as he'll be taken the other way. All the way to the end zone, and a touchdown by Demetrius Newberry, but let's see what the flag is about. And Brandon, we saw the edge as a problem when the Pride kicked the field goal in the first quarter. Remember, you saw flying off the edge was Dietrich Jones, and this time it looked like it was a little too much of a head start by the Pride.
Yeah, I think it was Bradley Street there. He got a little bit of a jump on the snap. He was a little bit fast, and again, it was, hey, look, it's a competitive deal. These guys are out here trying to get after it on special teams, which is great. It's what you want to see, but at the same time, you got to watch that ball. It's kind of like the D lineman we were talking about earlier. The key is when that brown thing moves in there, you move. You don't go until it does.
So that adds 5 yards here. Makes it a 4th and 2. We'll see what the call is on the field. Moves it up here on the field. Do you kick it again, try to tie it at 10, or do you go for it?
I don't know. Everything I've said so far, they've done the opposite, so I'm just going to leave that alone.
So it is an offside against the Pride. So that will make it a little bit of a shorter field goal or a 4th and 2 if you want to go for it here on offense, as the Brave trying to cash in on a miscue on special teams by the Pride. And they cashed in for their first score on a Pride fumble. That was our first score of the game, a Malcolm Bell 15-yard touchdown run. So either trying to even it up or retake the lead, as we see Coach Patterson in our screen. And he's very, very vocal, very emotional, high-energy guy, great offensive coordinator at Wagner's, done so well there. It seems that he just sprinkles fairy dust on any quarterback that comes through for Walt Handline's program. Again, he had Chris Andrews, who was in at quarterback. They went 4-1 down the stretch, tied with Bryant for the NEC title. And I was on the NEC Now at that time. Remember that name, Walt Hamline. And it was a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. So that's what they took. And not just that, it's a personal foul and a first down. So the Brave get a little bit more than just the offsides, get a new set of downs.
Yeah, don't even have to make that decision whether or not to kick it or go for it on 4th. You got 1st and goal now.
They're 1 for 1 in the red zone. Malcolm Bell is now in a quarterback in your screen. Ran it in from 15 yards out for the Brave. Cashed in on a turnover. They have 7 points off of turnovers. Could it be 14 or 10? To Brown. Dances across the 10 to the 5. So a solid round there on first down. And now when you're in the goal line area here, Brandon, when you have a good running back and you have a good running back in Malcolm Bell, your playbook's wide open.
Absolutely, and you've got a big tight end like Jonathan Dorsey out there too. You got some weapons down here.
Trouble with the snap. Brown able to pick it up and just advance it. And some players on the Pride signaling it's their football. We'll see what happened there. Did you see anything in that snap, Brandon? A little bit of an issue up front?
Well, I mean, it's a little low. You know, again, it's maybe one of those situations where, you know, it's just working with new people. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to. And you're in a new scheme, a new system. You're not comfortable. That's a great job by those guys in the back there by just getting the ball, falling on it. Again, he's trying to do a lot there. As a coach, you just want to cover that thing up.
First man in there was Bryce Bradley, who tied this game at 7 with a 70-yard INT return. So it's 3rd and goal from the 5 of the Pride. Can the Brave cash in? Pride botched another punt return opportunity. First time they did it, the Brave took a 7-0 lead. Brown on the sweep, cuts back inside the 5 to the 3. So you will have here a 4th and goal. And Brandon, what do you do? Do you go for the tie or do you try to take the lead? Again, they've gone opposite of you, but this time I think you go for the points, right?
Yeah, I think you do. You got to get the points down here and tie it up. And again, they'll probably go for it now because I've been backwards on everything today. That's why I'm not a head coach or coordinator.
So we will step aside here. Decision time for the Brave. They trail 10-7, 6:31 to go here in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. So the Brave trying to cash in here on a turnover. They're going to go for it on 4th down and goal from the 4. Trips are to the right. Lone receiver left. Motion comes Brown and some flags here on the field. And check that, no, we're going to have a timeout. So 10-7 here in favor with the Pride. We will keep it here, 6:29 to go in the 3rd. I'm John Kelly Jr., your play-by-play man here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex. Thank you for tuning in this evening here to the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. I'm joined here by Brandon Noble, and the 3rd member of our team is on the sidelines, Abby Atwater. As we look at our screen, Coach Patterson furious with his unit here, as yelling here at Newberry Cheeseboro. But he has a timeout to rethink things, and so do the Brave on this drive. Brandon, you know, you have 3 quarterbacks here for this squad that can scramble. So that definitely opens up the playbook if you go for on 4th and goal.
Absolutely. Well, look, they're going to empty there, right? All of a sudden they motion the back out of the backfield to create quads. But what does that do? That's going to take somebody else out of the box. When you've got quarterbacks that can move and run like that, that's an issue for you defensively. And one of the things that you do in that situation is you stunt your D-line. You move your D-line, which is something that they can't do in this game. So it'll be an interesting thing to see what happens here on this play.
And the Brave have 2 timeouts, Pride with 1 left. And we see Malcolm Bell coming into your screen, so they're going to go for it again here on 4th down. Jonathan Dorsey, number 2, look out for him in this situation. Led the SWAC in all tight end receiving categories. He's a hybrid tight end.
All my fans know at home, I love every last one of y'all. Shout out to RVA.
Bell to the end zone. It's hauled in. Touchdown! What a great haul in by Ahmad Harris from South Carolina State. And the Brave back in front. But we have a flag. Hold the phone. Brandon, nice job there by Harris to battle out for that catch. And he ran it in the end zone. But let's see if it stands. Interesting call, too, Brandon, because they went on an out to the near side. You have to go to the end zone. You got to give Harris a lot of credit there on that catch and grab. He was covered completely.
That was a great job. He turned around. He was out of position for that ball. He turned around and fought for it, and then was able to then get into the end zone. That was a heck of a play. They need that. They need that spark. Somebody needs to catch the ball for these quarterbacks, and that was a good one.
So the referees going to sort things out here as the Brave for right now have gone in front on a touchdown pass from Malcolm Bell to Ahmad Harris. Let's see what our official has to say. Does it stand? He'll be assessed on the kick, we know. So that was exactly what's going to happen. So the touchdown stands and the Brave back in front. And let's look at that touchdown scoring play on 4th down.
It's a good job. It's just a little out route. Ran it behind the bunch. You see it all the time right now in the NFL. That was a great break on the ball. It's a great catch. But you see it. It's they call it a rub. They call it a pick, whatever it is. You got 2 receivers going down inside to knock the coverage off, and then 1 receiver working out to the corner.
Blasted down the middle on the extra point by John Barron. So the Brave have 14 points off of Pride turnovers, the 2 of Pride turnovers, all on special teams, and now they lead 14-10. Let's look at that drive, Brandon.
That's a good throw. Good, solid, strong throw. Not prettiest. It wasn't a perfect spiral, but it was a good throw. That's a long way to throw the football all the way out there.
And, of course, let's not forget that drive started on a muffed punt by the Pride, so their second one of this game, and that's really killed them. It's contributed to 14 points for the Brave.
It's special teams, and it's important. As a coach, you'd realize, hey, that's a third of your game right there, and you work on it a lot. Again, I know I've said it a million times tonight, but that's one of those things when you've only got a couple days of practice, a couple days to prep, and guys working in different positions, things like that happen.
Well, the Pride led 10-7. And let's look at that drive they gave the Brave back the lead, Brandon.
Yeah, that was, you had the poison call here that we didn't get, so they get the ball because a guy touched it and didn't know he touched it.
And, of course, a botched field goal here. However, there was an unsportsmanlike penalty that kept the drive alive for the Brave.
Yeah, they didn't have to make the decision. Good run here. Again, just powerful football right up the middle.
Shout out to RVA.
And then, of course, here on 4th down, a shout out to a nice cross-the-field throw by Malcolm Bell. Ahmad Harris in.
It's a good drive, taking advantage of opportunities. Anytime you get those kind of freebies there, you get it given to you. You got to take advantage of it, and they did there. There was a lot of mistakes on the other side that allowed them to score.
So Malcolm Bell, 4-yard touchdown pass. The drive was 9 plays, 29 yards. And all set up by a muffed punt by the Pride. So 14 points for the Brave off of Pride turnovers. Okay. Taken by Bryce Bradley. Tied this one up at 7 with a 70-yard interception return, and a nice return for him. And we'll get to see an excellent field position opportunity for the Pride after Abby here on the sidelines.
Number 92 defensive tackle Venton Jones from Shaw University hobbled off the field in the second quarter. He came back on the field in sweats after the half, and he's been diagnosed by his trainer with a pulled hamstring.
So that's a key injury here, Brandon. Don't like to see that in all-star games.
No, the good thing is it's a hammy. It's not a good thing if you've got it, but at the end of the day, that's something that you can rehab. You can put yourself back together. You don't want to see any of those big structural injuries, knock on wood.
So Malcolm Bell with 2 total touchdowns, ran one in from 15 yards out to give the Brave the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Now he gives them the lead back here. A touchdown pass to Ahmad Harris. The Pride looking to respond. Direct snap here for Hankerson. He's taken down. Nice shoestring tackler. He would have had a lot more. And Mano on that tackle.
That was a great play by Mano. He came off. I thought he was gone. I really did. They motioned to empty. Quarterback draw. Fights off the play, and that's a great tackle by Mano there.
Played for Virginia Union, tied third with 4.5 tackles for loss this year. And now Hankerson in here at quarterback, trying to get the Pride back in front. The 21-yard return by Bradley, so it's good field position. Here's Kelly on the toss. Why not? The flag comes in late, gets to midfield. So let's see what the men on the field have to say. And it's going to be a holding against the Pride, so this one will be pushed back.
I think the Pride needs to get back to running the football. Control the game. That's what they did so well in the first half. Give it to Kelly. Just feed him, move the ball down the field, and hopefully it opens it up. And you can't get behind the sticks either. You can't get a penalty like this. It's going to put you in, a long yardage situation when the best thing you do is run the ball.
We've seen that here from both offenses when they're really behind the sticks. You're talking first, second, third and 10 and plus. It's been a tough evening for them.
Ooh. Yeah, the backside guard there got a handful of cloth and brought everybody down.
So the holding penalty makes it a 2nd and 20 for the Pride from their own 35. Hankerson, the quarterback, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. The hitch isn't there, so he's going to keep it himself across the 35. Gets outside the 40 to the 45 and falls out of bounds. Referee going to mark him here 3 yards short of midfield. Nice scramble by Greg Hankerson. Didn't see anything downfield, and he took off immediately. Didn't delay.
No, that was good. You're going to see him. He's going to check, right? He's going through his progression there. Feels the rush in front of him, steps up and goes. Tuck that ball away, and once you get to the point where you're the line of scrimmage, you're there. That was a really, really good job. Hustle there, number 52, running out from his linebacker spot, Kelly.
The Memphis, Tennessee native was a Black College Football 2016 Player of the Year on the watch list to start this season. The many players that came out. So Hankerson makes this a 3rd and manageable. It's 8. Has time. Moves in the pocket. Good coverage downfield. Now he improvises to the far side. Has a man. It's Weaver Jr. What a catch. And Hankerson's pass set that one up. But did he hold on? They're signaling the Braves that it wasn't caught. Regardless, great effort by Hankerson.
That was a great job by Hankerson, feeling the pressure. Again, same thing. It's a good rush. They collapse the pocket around him. That's good coverage, too. He doesn't have anybody to go to. He gets outside the pocket. It becomes that scramble drill. You see Aaron Rodgers do it all the time to Jordy Nelson, and that's what they did there. Unfortunately, just didn't quite connect.
Well, from that screen, he almost had it, 75%, but wasn't able to haul it in. So another punt here from Maroof, who had a 43-yarder on his last one. Gave the Pride the lead 10-7. Been a long third quarter here. A lot of penalties. Was a rather clean first half, Brandon, but now in the second half, things have changed.
Yeah, sometimes, the guys are trying. Maybe they're forcing it a little bit now. And it is an all-star game. It is a situation where these guys are, they're trying to play. They're trying to show out. They're trying to get their name out there. But at the end of the day, sometimes doing that little bit extra and forcing it doesn't work.
Punting well does, too, as Maroof shanks this one off his leg. And that's out of play. We'll see who the referees mark that. So good field position here for the Brave as they're in front 14-10, 4:43 to go here in the third. All 14 points of those off of miscues on special teams by the Pride. And Malcolm Bell with the 2 total touchdowns, the guy who led his team to back-to-back Celebration Bowls, had a great career at North Carolina Central. And I tell you something, you look at him in this game, you look at that last touchdown, Brandon, you made a good point. That's an across-the-field throw. That just shows arm strength, and that's what the scouts are looking for at the next level.
Absolutely. One of the things as a defensive coach you look for is can the quarterback throw the out to the far side of the field, right? Do we have to defend that? And he obviously showed he could there.
The leader in total touchdowns in the OVC checks in. Now Ronald Butler. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. And a little bit of some issues up front, so a false start here, and that will back up the Brave offense. A little sloppier here in the second half, Brandon, as we saw some good offensive line play in the first. Yeah, it could be forcing if you were telling me that earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely, it may be a little wear and tear, too. Look, these guys, they haven't played football in a while, and so all of a sudden they're out here. They may be getting a little bit tired. They've got some good D linemen out here playing ball, too.
Butler, hitch route, and he connects with Cottonson, but he could not hang on, as that will bring up now a 2nd down and 15. And a great coverage there provided by Malcolm Cherry from Elizabeth City College. So we'll bring up 2nd and 15. And it's amazing when you look here, the passing, you see those hitches in this game. These D-backs are all over it. The ball has to come out earlier if you're Ronald Butler or if you're on the Pride squad as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball has to come out fast when you're throwing that hitch. These guys break on the ball fast.
Nice keep by Butler, short of the 35. And referee's going to give him the 34. So gain of 4, and I'll make it a 3rd and 11 here with 4:25 to go in the third. And the Brave in front 14-10, all 14 of their points. 2 total scores by Malcolm Bell, touchdown pass to put him back in front. And he scored earlier on the run to open the scoring. Looking at that play there by Ronald Butler. Love how these linebackers of the Pride fly to the football.
Yeah, they do a good job. And the other thing, too, that was a good job by Mundell there. He sat, held his block up, came off, made the play.
So 3rd and 10, the line to keep this drive alive. It's the Braves' own 45. Butler over the middle, almost intercepted as he was looking for Collins Moore. And a late flag here, and Angelo Keys may have put a little too much lumber on Ronald Butler, and that could be a late hit.
Yeah, that was a good rush, though. I mean, he forced that thing. That was really nice, but at the end of the day, we all know how they're protecting those guys now.
Malcolm Cherry was on the coverage. But that's a roughing the passer, and another personal foul by the Pride gives a new set of downs to this Brave squad. And again, it was a personal foul by the Pride that allowed the Brave team to take the lead too, Brandon.
Yeah, no, and again, it's getting a little sloppy right now, but you're going to see Keys. That's a really, really nice rush, man. Do you see that spin move again? And it's just that little shove, and it's one of those things as a D lineman that kind of drives you nuts. They're protecting him a little bit much, but at the end of the day, those are the rules, and you got to abide by them.
Gives a first down to the Brave squad, trying to extend their 14-10 advantage. A nice run there on the play by Vervonta Johnson from St. Augustine. Went there on the sweep. Nice cutback by him, Brandon.
Yeah, it was a good job. Again, those guys are moving fast, and to be able to change direction like that is pretty impressive. Scouts love to see that. You're going to see him on the jet sweep look here. Puts his foot in the ground, gets north and south. It's a good tackle there, too.
One of the new additions we've yet to see from Delaware State today's game, Ara Scott. And that defensive line eats that one up. And the first guy in there for the Pride to stop it was Demarius Williams.
Yeah, that was a good job by the big fellow there. Williams, you're going to see him. He's going to be at the right of your screen, or he's going to push things up. Right, again, penetration kills that play.
You know that being a D lineman, you're 9 years in the NFL, Brandon, and knew that playing for those good defenses at Penn State. Penetration's key. You know, it's amazing. You just see the Nittany Lions. Doesn't matter. They can always find players to get that leverage, which you love as a defensive lineman. You liked watching that this week.
Oh, absolutely.
3rd and 6. Butler to the air, to the far side. Has a man. He's going to be short of the first down as he connected with Just York, who is 3rd in the CIAA with 7 touchdown catches. And the tackle made on the play by Guy Stallworth, a guy we mentioned in our open.
I'll tell you, that was a really good job by Butler. He's going to get hit here. That's a great rush by Keys. Just a little white move, and Butler's looking right in the face of that thing. He knows he's going to take a shot, and he stands in there, takes the hit, and completes it.
Stallworth, one of 2 first-team All-SWAC defensive backs, joining Jameel Jackson. And now we're going to have a punt here by John Barron. This is another way to show scouts something, too. Knocking one inside the 20 here, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are looking for everything here.
Well, it's a good snap. Barron sideways is the football. Fair catch called by Weaver Jr. It backspins. Nice execution. And the Brave special teams has the Pride buried deep in their territory. And they'll come out here on offense trailing 14-10, 1:45 to go here in the third quarter. First ever HBCU Spirit of America game here. John Kelly Jr. alongside Brandon Noble and the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, Abby Atwater, providing great interviews. You know, I'm very impressed here with what Eric Galko has done at Optimum Scouting. I mean, it's amazing. You know, Brandon, I'm a play-by-play broadcaster. You sit, you prepare, you look at notes and stats, but he's really got to watch the film. That's where the jokes start coming in with Frank Caliendo when he does impressions of, what's the name, of Jaworski. I watched 30 hours of film. You have to when you want to assemble talent like this, and he's assembled a lot of talent.
He does. You know what else he's done is he's found some great kids. I mean, when you listen to these guys talk, when Abby's talking to him down there on the sideline, it's great. You know that this is important to them. You know that they love the game. But the other thing is they're having fun. They're meeting guys. They're great kids. I got to spend time in the hotel with them this week, and Eric does a great job.
Kevon Jackson up the middle, gets across 5 to the 9-yard line, and the tackle made on the play by Trevon Spencer from Kentucky State. You know, it was amazing. When I was preparing and I learned about him, Raymond Malone this year, and Vincent Edwards from Kentucky State, I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, John L. Smith, he's back in football. And he's an offensive guy. And one of the coaches on this squad for the Brave was the defensive coordinator at Kentucky State. 13-plus starters. This is a team that went 3-7 last year, and they got to their first SIAC championship. They lost, but got there because of defense, Brandon, and pretty impressed what he's done.
Yeah, Raymond Malone, I mean, look, he's well coached, you can tell, and that comes from the top, and John L. Smith and those guys always do a great job.
2nd and 7 for the Pride. Hankerson gets it out wide, going across the 20 to the 25. And a late flag here as his intended target made the catch, Verlin Hunter. And a little late flag. This could be a late hit, Brandon.
Yeah, it looks like he got out of bounds and then picked him up and dumped him. And they're going to, like I said, this is the kind of stuff you don't want to do and you definitely don't want to see in these games. You don't want to get guys hurt. And at the end of the day, the scouts, you know, guys, CFL, NFL, those guys don't want to see stupid mistakes.
As the man who threw him out of bounds was Ira George Coates. And this personal foul will give the Pride an automatic first down, move them a little further. Again, they were behind their 10 here to start this drive. Pride's 10 points. Came off of an interception return. Let's look at the penalty here, Brandon.
That's a good throw. Good throw and catch. Again, he's got him. You just got to know right here you're out of bounds. It's got to stop.
Man who drove him out, we talked about Raymond Malone, the SIAC championship MVP, as Kevon Jackson works it to the 45. I liked how he lowered the shoulder there on that run, and he was tackled on the play by Trevon Spencer and also helped finish it off by Justin Hill.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the way that this Brave defense has kind of rallied and played in the second half. They're doing a great job. And even towards the end of the first half, they're all playing, they're all tackling. The linebackers are running to the football right now, and they're starting to punish those running backs a little bit more, whereas in the first half, Kelly and those guys were kind of running through tackles.
And that looks like that'll be our last play of the third quarter, so the final quarter coming up. Exciting finish on our way. The Brave have retaken the lead. They lead 14-10 after 3 here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex on the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. The moon showing here. The night sky has settled in here. It is 14-10. We get back to our action. Final quarter of play in the Spirit of America Bowl is Kevon Jackson on the stretch across the 50. Best run we've seen so far, diving to the 45 of the Braves. So a big-time drive here for the Pride. They needed here, trying to go back in front. And let's look at a game recap here of how we got to this point of 14-10 Brave. So Malcolm Bell started us off in the first quarter. That was off of a miscue by the Pride, Brandon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that tonight, right? A lot of those kind of, you know, taking advantage of mistakes. Right here, pick 6, Bradley, heck of a play.
And this time, Kevon Jackson works across the 40. Love the second effort on that one. And of course, Maroof made it 10-7, Pride at half. So they got the 10 straight points after trailing 7-0. And then we get into the third. And
nice
in the
run.
third quarter here, as we're in the fourth, Kevon Jackson, nice run. Look at how he just tucks, goes down. And in the third quarter, we just had one score. The Bravery took the lead, and special teams hurt the Pride again. So 2nd and 4, it'll be Justin Kelly. Across the 35, lowered the pads. You could hear it up here, Brandon.
Yeah, that's what these guys need right now. They need to get Kelly the ball again. He ran like that the whole first half, and he's got to do it again. And look, that was the Brave defense has been doing a good job against the run, but he's going to come up here. He's going to put his foot in the ground and just absolutely truck that guy.
Grambling's 56-17 win over Alabama A&M. He went for 200 yards. He was the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. He was the first player in the league to post a 200-yard game. He's not. And A.J. McGinn there at fullback. We've talked about him early. Lead blocker for the MEAC's 3-time offensive player, Tariq Cohen. He's in. And a fumble there. He secured his block, but Kelly didn't secure the handoff. Brave saying it's their football. And it is a deadly turnover by the Pride. And the recovery made on the play He had trouble handling that handoff.
Yeah, he did. That was just a bad exchange right there. Ball's on the ground. Again, it's just one of those things where, you know, in games like this, you know, those kinds of things, those little things happen.
And Brandon, that was a great drive by the Pride. They were moving down the field, trying to retake the lead. They played very well. You know, miscues have just hurt them.
Yeah, and it's been both guys. You know what I mean? It's been both guys that have, you know, both sides of the ball. Both teams have definitely made some mistakes. And yeah, that's part of an all-star game. These guys just got to go out there, calm down, and play football.
So you've seen it this whole game. The Brave have been able to cash in on Pride mistakes. 14 of their points on Pride miscues. Can they take the fumble in here to extend their 14-10 lead? We'll whistle here on the field with 13:21 to go. And in the third quarter was a Pride muffed punt that allowed the Braves to score on that 4th and goal as Malcolm Bell hooked up with Ahmad Harris for the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes. It's a big part of the game. Let's see if they can do it again.
Frazier with the fumble recovery for the Brave. Solid run here by Devonta Johnson. And he gets out across the 35 to the 36. Tackle made on the play by George Feggins. Solid linebacker at Virginia State. Led all linebackers this year. And let's look at this run and then the tackle.
Man, that was a heck of a block there by number 56, Michael Young. They had him back playing like an H-back almost.
His nickname is Big Mike. That's what they call him, Michael Young. So it'll be a 2nd and 9 from the 35. Back to Johnson. Just short of the 40 to the 42. So the run game being employed here by the Brave. Why not? You're leading 14-10. And that seems to have worked for both squads today.
Yeah, watch Michael Young here again. He does a great job. And he's a guy, he plays center, right? But he's only 5'11". He's about 260 pounds. And he's actually thinking, you know, when you talk to NFL scouts or CFL scouts, he's fullback. This is a guy that played center at Hampton. Right, he's an athlete. I watched him all week. He's a very good center. He's just undersized. I watched him move guys off the ball that were, you know, 100, maybe not 100 pounds, but, you know, 80 pounds bigger than him. But he just leveled a couple people out there playing fullback.
To the air, Butler too high, trying to hit his intended target. Landon Malbrough from Morgan State. And Michael Young blocked for 5 100-yard rush games by several Hampton running backs this year. It's amazing, too. Won 2 state titles at Tucker High School. He's an Atlanta, Georgia native, one of the top 50 coming out of college. And he anchored that O-line at Hampton. And I know Marcus Dixon, he wasn't in our screen there, but a guy who played for the Jets. Hampton's put out a lot in the HBCU and in the NFL leaving.
Yeah, no, it's a good football program. I grew up here in the Virginia Beach area, and Hampton's right across the water, and they've always had talented guys.
So the punt coming from John Barron. Gets a nice leg into this one. Weaver Jr. receives it inside the numbers and then eaten up immediately. Good punt coverage by the Brave, and the Pride, after turning it over the last drive, will try to get something going and retake the lead with 11:52 to go here in the 4th quarter as the tackle made by Jarrell Priester, one of the gunners down there on special teams. You see him in your screen for the Brave.
That's a great job. Like I said, that's how these guys, when they get to camp, if they get an opportunity in the NFL or in the CFL, a lot of these guys are going to be special teams players. That's how they make the team. That's how they start your career. And there's nothing wrong with it. Look, there's guys that make a good living running down, covering kicks in the NFL.
So Greg Hankerston will stay at quarterback. He's definitely given the Pride the best offensive opportunities tonight. Started his career off at Florida Atlantic, too, by the way, before he transferred Norfolk State. Very well traveled. Played football in Broward County. Very good high school football there in Florida. And here he is on 1st and 10. Setting up a screen to Kelly. And that's read immediately, and he's taken down at the 25. Great read by Keelan Jones. He was all over it.
That was a great play by Keelan Jones. Way to recognize it. I mean, that little screen, if you get a couple of linemen in front of Kelly, you're in trouble. And look at him. You see him. He reads it. He takes on the block there. Fights through it, finishes the play. That's a really, really good play. Scouts are going to love to see that.
You've been in the NFL. You know what scouts also like? Production. He led his conference, the CIAA, with 10.6 tackles per game, 95 total, just 5 short of 100. So Doesn't matter what element you're at or what level you're at in football. If you can produce, Brandon, that's what they want on Sundays.
Absolutely.
And the trouble with the snaps, not what they want on Sundays. Hankerson just gets drilled as he picks it up off the carpet. And the Pride going backwards here, and it'll be a 3rd and long as he's wrapped up by Javante Kelly.
Yeah, it's just that snap didn't even get back there. I don't know. It's tough from that angle. It's tough to see what happened, but that thing made it about 1.5 yards behind the center. Hankerson didn't have a chance.
So this will be a 3rd and long upcoming here for the Pride. They continue to back themselves up. They were in great position there to retake the lead, then they fumbled. Justin Kelly been so good at running back tonight. Fumbled an exchange that's so rare because it was so clean, and now 3rd and long. I would go to Denzel Keys. Near side of your screen, he is one-on-one. Hankerson with time, scrambles, keeps his eyes downfield, drills, and it's incomplete. As it went off the hands of Philip Williamson, Keys had a shot at it, but it fell short of him, and the Pride will have to kick it back away.
Yeah, he was open. That was going to be a big one right there, but Williamson does a great job. You get Hankerson here. Again, he feels some pressure. He's going through his progression, gets out of the pocket, scramble drill time. That's a heck of a play by Williamson. Saves a big one.
And you can see the arm strength as Williamson got a fingertip on that, and it still had enough to travel just short of Keys. So Maroof to punt it away for the Pride, 10-12 to go. Good snap. Maloof puts a foot into it. Best punt of the night. Driving it back, fair catch made. And the Brave will take over a 14-10, 10:06 to go. First ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. We will step aside. Come back with us. Let's go downstairs to Abby Atwater. Brave in front, 14-10.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ray Malone, defensive back from Kentucky State. I heard you had a great week in practice. What do you want to tell NFL scouts watching?
I just want to let them know that I'm a hard worker and I'm very determined. And, if a player like me comes to your team, you're getting a hard worker and a guy, who just believes in himself. And I do believe that there's a God, and there's not a receiver out there that can stop me. I'm sorry. And if he is, he's going to have to play the full game.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience here all week?
I had a great time, came across a couple guys, that I played in the conference with. We had a great time. And, throughout the whole Division II, Division I AA, I met some great guys, and, I really was proud of that.
Thanks so much, Ray. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. As Bell keeps it himself, no one's been able to stop him today as he's accounted for all 14 of the Braves' points, but he's stuffed there, Brandon. Nice work on the perimeter, setting the edge.
Yeah, that was Ledbetter. Came up like a missile, man. We went right for the leg, took it out. That was a heck of a play. That was a good read.
On the previous play on your screen, while Abby was doing that excellent interview with Raymond Malone, I love that challenge you saw from Jonathan Dorsey and Randon Hoof. I mean, that looked like a practice-type drill right there. Broke it down. Dorsey had it up in his hands, and Hoof able to knock it away. He's giving up size there to him.
A lot of size. That's a big person running down the field trying to catch the football.
What the Pride would like is a 3-and-out here. Get the Brave off the field as 9:18 the clock is running. 14-10 in favor of the Brave. As of right now, Bell is your offensive MVP. He's flushed. Fires down the far side, and it's incomplete. As he was looking for just York and Clem Robbins on the coverage. And that one's a little short of York. So just what the Pride wanted, and they stopped the clock here, and now they'll get the football back. So, Brandon, we've seen 3 quarterbacks from the Pride. As they go down the stretch here to try to recapture the lead, who do you go to?
I'm 0 for 4 on these kind of discussions, so I don't know, man. This is one of those ones where nobody really has the hot hand right now, and I think that's the issue, right? They've got to figure it out. At the end of the day, honestly, you know what I do? I'm going to start running the football again. I'm going to hand it off to Kelly. I'm going to let him go.
As Barron gets a good kick under this one, fair caught at the 25 by Michael Weaver Jr. And the Pride offense will come on the field. Well, if you think you're 0 for 4, clearly our last interview, Raymond Malone is not short of confidence. There's no receiver that can get by me. You know who he reminds me of? Because I'm in this D.C. area. A guy who signed here to play for the Redskins in Josh Norman. He thinks the same way. And it was a good interview there with Raymond. He was nice and relaxed. that confidence factor is also the key to being successful on Sundays too, Brandon, because you got to know that you can go out there and execute and your skills are good enough or they're going to eat you for lunch.
Absolutely, especially at that position. That's one of those ones where you have to have a short memory because you're going to lose. You're going to get beat. You can't forget about it. You have to keep that swagger, and the great DBs always have it.
Darrell Green, another one who played in this area, as it's kept by Hankerson, and then he stood up. So Greg Hankerson going to stay in the game here for this Pride at quarterback as the tackle made by Evan Scott, linebacker from Langston. Let's look at this replay, direct run, and that was good work there to kind of stop him in that hole.
Yeah, they gap integrity there, right? Everybody was where they needed to be. Good eyes against just disciplined football.
And Keelan Jones, he's been active, one of the more active linebackers tonight for the Brave. So it is a 2nd and 6. Direct handoff, and Jackson blown up. He is just blown out of the screen as Keelan Jones heard me and made a big-time blast there. Look at that.
Keelan Jones came up, man. That was a great play. Came off the edge. It was a good call. You got double-edge pressure coming there from the linebackers. Made the play when he had the opportunity.
Let's look at this replay.
See him at the top of his screen. I mean, he's in the backfield before he even gets the ball. That's the look of somebody who doesn't know what just happened to him right there.
But also his instinct, something you love to see at linebacker, and you got a chance to see it right there. Shot the gap, reminding everyone of Javion Clowney in that bowl game a couple of years ago. Put a hitting on Vincent Smith, that running back. 3rd and 8, Hankerson rolling out, buying time. Gets by 1. Now here come his legs. Across the 35, past the 40. He has the first down, and he's just a yard short of midfield, and great run by Greg Hankerson. He saw nothing downfield, bought time, but also we got to see in our screen how he drew the defense and was able to go to the other side.
Yeah, no, it's a good job, right? He gets pressure in his face. It's a 3-man rush. All of a sudden he's out there, just makes him miss, and now he's off to the races. Again, he had a lot of open space there to run and work.
Led NSU in rushing this year with 423 rushing yards in 11 starts, 963 career rushing yards at Norfolk State, 9 career rushing TDs. Has a strong arm, but has some wheels, and his wheels continue to wield the Pride down the field as they try to retake the lead. Hankerson to Hunter, and he could not handle that. Had to get his head around there a lot quicker, Brandon, because that out was on time. Hunter wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, again, it's the timing thing, right? And it's one of those things that when you don't have a lot of practice time together, it's rough. He gets the ball out of there hot. It looks good. Again, there's a little bit behind him. Wasn't able to adjust and make the play.
Raekwon Sam on the coverage from Georgia Southern. So 2nd and 10, 6:58 to go. Brave lead the Pride 14-10. First ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex under the lights. Hankerson, 3-step drop, nothing there. Looking over his options, buying time. Jackson can't get a chip, and he just fires to the near side. Give a lot of credit there on the play to Javante Kelly. I mean, Jackson tried to chip him. Kelly blasted through him, and now Greg Hankerson is down.
Yeah, don't want to see this.
He's favoring that left ankle, so he'll be attended to here on the field. Javante Kelly, just a monster. You know, and again, that really is man-on-man blocks that were shed right there. Kelly, 6 foot 240. Of course, Kevon Jackson, the New Orleans native, just 5'11", 190. And that's a mismatch. He tried the chip Kelly. He just blew right through him, hit Hankerson. It was a great play, but you don't want to see this. And what happened here, Brandon?
Well, you just see, look, there's good pressure right up the middle. Force him out of the pocket. And usually what happens is you've got a linebacker that's got secondary contained, right? So as he starts working out of the pocket, the backer comes up, and again, it just looks like he rolled up on an ankle there.
So tough here for Greg Hankerson. Great senior season. 3rd in the MEAC with 225 yardage per game. Again, 5th most in a single season school history with 2,475 total yards of offense. Set school records in his final year from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. A lot of talent down there. Everyone on a knee. You never want to see this in an all-star game as these players go so hard. And for most of them, their final collegiate opportunity. Here's Maloof, who's been pretty good as our special teams player, maybe our special teams player of the game, Brandon. He had a field goal to give the Pride that 10-7 lead at halftime. He's really improved his punting.
Yeah, the punts have definitely gotten a lot better. You know, that's one thing, too. And he has to do a little bit of everything right now, right? Kickoffs and punts. And so, and heck, he had to run the ball one time. He had a low snap, and he had to pick that thing up and go. And that's the last thing a punter wants to do in an all-star game. He wants to just sit back there and kick the ball. But he picked one up and tried to run it.
Despite no all-star games, the HBCU schools have definitely put a lot of players in the NFL, starting with South Carolina State with 6. Their coach, the longest tenured coach around right now, Hampton. We mentioned Marcus Dixon earlier, Norfolk State, Tennessee State. So the HBCU well represented in the NFL. 32 players made opening day rosters this year, Brandon. A lot of talent down here. Graduate transfer rule helping out a lot of kids. And really, there's a ton of talent. Mobile, Alabama, a lot of kids from Mobile, Alabama. You know about Florida. You obviously are from here, the Tidewater region.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent here. Newport News, Hampton, and again, Allen Iverson came from here.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a ton of talent here, and it's a highly recruited area. I mean, what's pretty cool for me, again, being a Tidewater native, you got Hampton, you got Norfolk State there. They're both sitting there with 2 and 3 on the amount of guys in the NFL. There's a boatload of talent here. There's a boatload of talent at this level of football, and it's fun to watch. It's good to see these guys out here. I really enjoyed watching them in practice this week.
And I had a chance here to go to breakfast this morning, and I saw a photo of Frank Beamer. The Vick brothers are from the Virginia Beach Tidewater area. Michael Vick, electric, Mr. Electric, came out of this area and really turned around that Virginia Tech program, changed the whole school, changed the whole culture. Understand, he took on a team, and Chris Wanke, Peter Warwick, the name continues to keep going. I know they had tons of first-round picks on the other side of the ball. Probably one of the more exciting players people have watched in college football in a long time, before Reggie Bush and a lot of other players came, and he was from this Tidewater region. I'll mention Aaron Brooks also came from around here. He had a very good NFL career. So a lot of talent represented here. As you look here, as Coach Patterson, this is tough to see. Kids compete all week, practicing hard. You really loved the practice environment this week. You told me about the competition, Brandon, and I mean, you've been out of the league for a while, but you're a 9-year vet. You do like when the pads start smacking around.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what this is about. These kids took advantage of this opportunity. You didn't see guys kind of bow out of things. You didn't see guys, everybody gave everything they had. They understand what's on the line. I mean, look, every one of these kids has that dream. These young men all think that they can go play at the next level. Whether or not that happens, you don't know, right? There's a lot of things that come into that. But at the end of the day, they put everything out there that they could this week in practice. Like I said, the coaches coached hard. The kids played hard. It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it.
And sticking on the word dream, tomorrow will be Martin Luther King Day. Tune in tomorrow, 3 o'clock, as we will have the Dream Bowl tomorrow, the 5th installment of the Dream Bowl. Brandon, last year's went into an OT. Maybe we get the same drama this season.
Yeah, maybe. It was a fun game last year. I got to do the sideline for it. It was really, really cold here in Virginia Beach. Same thing, though. The guys, Eric Galco and those guys do a great job putting this game together, and they added one this year with this game. I mean, there's a lot of kids that they had to bring in, and they did it, and they do a great job getting quality young men, great families. The families are here kind of enjoying this last experience, and at the end of the day, they get an opportunity to go out and compete one last time, and it's cool to see them work, like I said before, because some of them could show up here just to have fun, a couple free meals, get to see the Atlantic Ocean, although it's not beach weather right now. But they come out, they compete.
Neil Malvone, the founder and CEO of Cutting Edge Sports Management, put us near the beach, Brandon. It's been a long time since I've been in that beach area. I was actually at a band event in high school the last time I was at the beach, and it was lovely there at that Ramada. As Greg Hankerson, we hope he is okay. Here's the Brave in front, 14-10. In that Dream Bowl tomorrow, you're going to get to see some really good quarterbacks. Seth Peters, one of the quarterbacks from Hendricks, and a record setter at Louisiana College. You're talking about that American Southwest Conference in Malecon. His coach, Ben McLaughlin, will be coaching him. Both of those guys threw for 10,000-plus yards at Louisiana College. Only 2 to ever do that.
Yeah, there's some talent. I'm excited to watch that game tomorrow and call it, and it's going to be fun.
So tough to see right here with Greg Hankerson. Competed his tail off tonight. We hope he's okay. Played really well, really drove the Pride down. So they're going to have a 3rd and 10 decision. Who do they put in here at quarterback? Avrion Hurts or their starter here, Terrian Ayers? It's a real question you're going to have to go with. Of course, I would look to Hurts if you have to pump it downfield, because that's his specialty, Brandon.
Definitely. He can put the ball down the field, and we're getting to the point where we got to take a couple shots. You want to get the ball downfield, got to get some points on the board here. But you feel terrible for that young man, going off the field like this at the end of the end of his college career, and hopefully everything's okay.
Well-traveled too, started out of Florida Atlantic. Great career at Norfolk State. Tough to see him go off. So Avrion Hurts will come in at quarterback with 3 receivers tripped to the right and Denzel Keys to the left. He's been shut down. A lot of receivers on both sides not really getting going, just showing you the depth here in the secondary that Eric Galco put out here today from Optimum Scouting. So 3rd and 10. Pride need the 42. As a pressure here, and Hurts is sacked, and coming off the edge and getting him was Philip Williamson. So quick, Hurts didn't see it.
Williamson's played a really good game. He had a big pass break up a few minutes ago. He's made some really good tackles. And man, he came screaming off the edge of that thing right there, and Hurts had no chance. He didn't even know he was coming.
Very tough for him right there. So Maloof to punt it away to the Brave, and Collinsmore will be back to receive. As he was all CIAA first team, Philip Williamson. The CIAA, man, did they have some good linebackers this year. Just so much depth in that conference. It's amazing because when I got prepared for this game, I said to myself, oh, they'll be first team. But you just see there's so many other guys up that trophy. A lot of them very helpful in the successful seasons as a false start here. So we'll do it again with 5:58 remaining and the Brave in front 14-10.
Williamson's done a really good job today, too. I think he's a really well-rounded player. I've been impressed with what he does. He's obviously just got a sack. He's been in pass coverage. I've seen him a couple times come up and fill the hole really well in the run game. He chases the ball down. The young man's, walking off the field tonight, playing a great game.
And Maloof here to send it away. So just 5 yards back. I like what we've seen out of his punting here in the second half. This one's a lot better than the shank. A line driver and it backspins, takes a favorable roll here for the Brave and going out of play. Well, it was a tough injury there for Greg Hankerson, but our own Abby Atwater has more on it. What happened there, Abby?
Quarterback number 7, Greg Hankerson, was just carted off the field to the hospital. Looks like he has a right ankle fracture.
So tough there, Brandon. He competed so hard, so we wish the best here for Greg Hankerson. Great career, Norfolk State. So tough because you're trying to impress scouts, and we hope for a speedy recovery for him. Listen, Marcus Lattimore gave it a go. They'll give you a shot to work out. So for Greg Hankerson, the dream is never over.
No, absolutely not. And honestly, as terrible as it sounds, a fracture or a bone break is actually a good thing, as opposed to a torn ligament or tendon where you have to go in and get surgery. If you've got something like that, it's just, it heals. Drink some milk. The bone will take care of itself.
Thank you for the medical advice.
Hey, look, I've been torn up, man. I've broken them, I've torn them, I've done just about everything. So I would always take a break over a torn ligament if I had a choice.
And we have an illegal substitution against the Brave, so they push it back if it's the Pride. 5:38 to go. Pride got to get off the field. Of course, Malcolm Bell in your screen before has all 14 points for the Brave. Did it on a rushing touchdown to open the scoring in the first quarter, then gave them back the lead after a muffed pump by the Pride on 4th and goal, connecting with Ahmad Harris for the go-ahead score. Now he's on the field here in a 3-wide shotgun. Blitz up the middle. He hands it to Brown, not much doing, as he's wrapped up on the play by Angelo Keys. He's been pretty active as a D lineman, and he wraps him up.
I've been really impressed with Keys. I watched these guys this week, and he plays hard all the time. That's just a good job. He sits there, plays his block. He gets a little bit of a kind of a base block and folds back underneath and makes a tackle.
38 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. He led the team. His counterpart on that D-line with him led in tackles for loss in Marcus Ragland.
That's a pretty solid 1-2 punch.
I wouldn't want to face that every Saturday.
No.
Brown up the center. Driving to the 40, still on his feet, pumping those legs. And he's finally taken down at the 43. And it looks like Newberry was in there on the stop. Alongside Guy Stallworth, first team all-SWAC defensive back as the clock continues to roll. You want this here if you're the Brave up 14-10.
Absolutely. That's what they're doing, right? Run the ball. Get the clock moving. I think I've been really impressed with these running backs. They're physical. I mean, I really like the way they run. It's not shifty. It's not getting around people. They get into traffic. They lower their shoulders, and they're going to knock them. They're going to knock the tackler down, hit the hitter.
Also helps when you have so many excellent offensive linemen. 2 from Kentucky State, Jalen Menifree First team all-conference, first championship in program history. Michael Moga up there. Several guys that are very diverse, too. They played multiple positions. Bell rolling out, fires. It's hauled in by York across midfield. Into Pride territories, he's out of bounds. A nice job by Just York to adjust, and he goes ahead for a first down for the Brave.
That was nice. It's good to see a pass completed right in the first down. You know, that's what we've been looking for all night. It's a good job by York. He's going to drop here. Look, he's feeling some pressure. Here comes Keys. Gets it out and then just missed tackle. First down.
Both Keys brothers, such good athletes. Denzel actually started on the men's basketball team as a junior as well as the football team. Shows you the athleticism both of them have. Here's Brown on the handoff. Keys gets him, but he gets some yards as well, continuing to mow this clock down with 3:33 to go, and the Brave in front 14-10. Keys in there again on the stop. 20 total tackles he had in a state high school game at Kingston High School in North Carolina. Look at the production here.
He's just active, and you said it earlier. You know, it's about producing, and Keys definitely produces. I mean, it's everything, right? It's disruptive in the pass game. It's active in the run game. He's all over the place. He's got a great motor. D-line coaches love that. If you don't have to coach a guy to run, it makes your life a lot easier, and you can work on all the other little things that matter.
So Brown in the pistol, 3 receivers out. Brave trying to run down the clock. Dances, gets across the 40 to the 35 and down to the 34. Oh, he got down to the 32. Ref going to give him the 34. So Brown continuing to mow it. And another first down for the Brave. And you can hear their sideline enjoying that one. Clock continues to run.
That's just a good run. Watch those big guys in front, man. They're moving people off the ball. And Brown does a great job. He gets his pads down low when he runs the ball, which is really nice to see. Again, it allows these guys to fall forward, which is what you want to do as a running back.
Clock continues to roll here. I would stick it to Brown. Then, of course, you got to watch out for that zone read, and then Bell can hit you on the outside, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. He's scored a pretty one earlier.
Nice spin move by Brown. Gets that by another. Inside the 25 to the 20 to the 15 and dragged down at the 14. Lamont Brown motoring for another first down for the Brave.
Look at that helmet. It's all chewed up. That's a heck of a spin move. Now, this is a guy, again, he's been putting his shoulder down, and all of a sudden he gives you a little shake and bake, and around the corner he goes.
He used the circle button on PlayStation to make that move. Forgery in motion, Brandon. So 2 minutes to go, and now the Brave driving here to ice this one out. With Lamont Brown, so happy to see him produce in this game. You know, when I read about him, Brandon, you know, so tough. You miss your team's first ever opportunity to a title game in the conference, first FCS playoff opportunity as Bell slides down. And I was really rooting for this kid today when I read about him. Led the team in rushing with 455 yards this year. I mean, this is a kid in high school, ran for 4,000 yards for Tracy Parker at his high school. And forget about this, too. He also, don't forget about this, he was a Semper Fidelis All-American. I mean, that's a big-time game for college players every year. This kid has it, but injuries always kill you.
Yeah, that's a part of the game you have to overcome, too. And he's done that. I mean, look, the kid's played a really, really good football game today. I've been really impressed with him.
Brave going to continue to let the clock run because the Pride just have one timeout remaining. And Scott there eaten up as Keys again on the stop. So the Pride right now, the 3rd and 12. When to use your timeout here? 50 seconds to go, down 14-10.
This has been a good drive. I mean, this is what you want. If you're the Brave, this is how it works, right? Run the football, run the clock out, finish the game. And they've done a great job of that right now. The O-line is taking it over. Brown's done a great job, you know, getting positive yards, not taking any losses. It's been not a flashy drive, but it's been a very effective drive.
And it's a drive that you want to see on tape too, if you're an NFL scout, because you got to put teams away. You go into the playoffs, you got to run the football. Be on the road, got to run the football. I guess unless you're the Packers today and you have Aaron Rodgers who can throw it all over the yard against the Cowboys, but running the football is the key to winning.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of Aaron Rodgers running around out there. You know, they don't fall out of trees every day. So running the football is the way to do it, especially at the end of the game. And that's what they've done here. I mean, they put this game away by basically taking the ball all the way down the field on the ground.
Yeah, it must have been tough to work out against Kajana Carter And those running backs at Penn State you saw during the times there. You were there in the 90s, the heyday, the Rose Bowl. And, Joe Pa had some good teams up there back then and constantly in the top 5 each year. Brandon, you knew what that competition was about. And plenty of running backs could help Penn State on tough days.
Yeah, we were fortunate. That was kind of that old Big Ten football where it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
How things have changed, but that's what we mentioned on the opening part of the broadcast. It's a changing game, so the Brave, because no timeouts for the Pride, will get in victory formation, and they will take a knee. And the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl is going to belong to the Brave, and Malcolm Bell got all 14 points, opened the scoring, and he gave them back the lead with a touchdown pass to Ahmad Harris. And it was a huge game by him. Again, here's a guy, back-to-back Celebration Bowls he led his team to, and he leads his all-star squad, the Brave, to a victory here over the Pride. Great game, Brandon, and we saw a lot on both sides.
Yeah, it was a good football game. These guys played hard. They competed. They got after it. There's good sportsmanship. Look, they're all out there. These guys had a good experience. I think that, for me, was a big part of it. You listening to them talk to Abby on the sideline. Every single one of these young men, I think, are walking away from this thing thinking this was a great opportunity, and they really enjoyed it.
Did you see there Angelo Keys, one of the big D linemen in this game, played a really good game. He'll get a lot of looks, a 4.65 40. And that is it here. The Brave take the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, 14-10. We'll be back with the celebration and the winning coaches with Abby Atwater after these messages. Obviously, okay. So the Brave take the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl here over the Pride, 14-10. And John Kelly Jr. alongside Brandon Noble, the players celebrating here. It's been a long week, and this is the best part about the game too, Brandon. You have an opportunity to come together after you've competed hard all week. Some great relationships, I'm sure, were made too here. Yeah, this is I was a part of the Dream Bowl last year, and what was really cool is these guys had a great time and actually got to know each other and have kept in touch. Like you see it on social media, staying in touch, even with me, guys that I was here for 3 days with them. It was just a great experience. And you stayed a lot warmer. Yes. And Abby Atwater has our winning coach downstairs.
I'm here with Coach. Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
How did your team pull off this win?
Like I told you earlier, something good happened, keep playing. Something bad happened, keep playing. Our guys kept playing around. I kind of made a bad call by going for it on 4th down and we threw the touchdown, but I threw an interception for a touchdown, but hey, we still played hard.
What did you see in the players throughout the week?
Throughout the week, they worked hard. They were very smart guys. They worked hard and didn't give up. They just kept doing exactly what we asked them to do. And my hat's off to all my guys, and especially the coaching staff. They did a wonderful job making sure the guys were prepared.
What was that talk in the locker room like at halftime?
It's in the middle of an interview. What was that again? I'm sorry.
What was your message to the team at halftime?
We just told them to just continue to play hard. We made some little bonehead mistakes a little bit, and we just had to come out here and just work hard. And special teams really did a great job on special teams and kept them back. So,
can you tell me a little bit about your experience all week?
It's been a great experience. It's my first time doing an all-star game like this, and my hat's off to the people that ran this whole deal. It was really a class act, very organized, and hopefully look forward to coming back and doing it again.
Thanks so much, Coach Jones. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Abby, as the Brave take this one 14-10 and win the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. Great game, Brandon. A lot of great stuff on both sides. And some action got started early in that first quarter, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there were some turnovers and some special teams issues, but Bell took advantage of it. That was a great play right there. You see his speed. You saw his ability to get around the corner and run the football, but a lot of that was set up because they'd been able to run the ball with just the inside zone stuff. You got a blocked field goal kick here. Again, it's one of those things where special teams matters, and I think we saw that tonight. I mean, look, there were some critical mistakes there that got taken advantage of. Great play right there, long pass, one of the few that really got downfield. Dorsey, who I was impressed with, had a great one. That was just a great play, a pick six. to the house, Bradley. I love it.
And of course, it would be 10-7 Pride at half. What a great pick there by Bryce Bradley. And how about this from Angelo Keys? Get out of my wheelhouse right there. Read that play all the way.
Keys is a good football player. It's gonna be fun to see where he ends up, what happens with him. He had that really great drive where he had 3 in a row. He was in on every play, and he was really productive as the day went on.
And the Pride led until this point. Another muffed punt. It's recovered by Evan Scott, and then the 4th down touchdown to give him the lead for good.
Yep, little rub route on the inside there. It was a great job. Bell put the ball right where he could only catch it, and touchdown, take the lead.
And right here we have great catch by Verlin Hunter, a little bit of a late hit, a personal foul, gave the Pride some life, but then mistakes killed him today.
Yeah, and you can't overcome those kinds of things. Look at that run, man. He ran the ball hard today. It was fun watching him.
Right here, Greg Hankerson showed his scrambling ability. I love how he was able to change directions here, gets the first down using his legs. He was effective with that today.
Yeah, I mean, look, that change of direction is scary. I mean, he stopped on a dime, went right, went left, and then up the field.
And how about the linebacker play? It was great on both sides. Philip Williamson, Avrion Hurts didn't have a chance.
No, very impressed with Williamson. He did everything today in the pass game, rushing the passer, and at the same time I saw him make a lot of great tackles in the run game.
And there's Just York making a big-time reception, turning it up the field. Nice looking, and that's what you're supposed to do.
And that was a big play on that drive. That was 3rd down. It was one of the first completions we've seen for a first, and it led to this big run right here.
Great spin move, and Brown ends that the way you'd like to finish it, running the ball, running the clock out, because the Pride only had 1 timeout at the time. And Abby's down with the player of the game. Abby, take it away.
I'm here with Malcolm Bell. Congrats on the win. Congrats on winning MVP. How does it feel to win the game and win MVP at your last college game?
It feels good to just come out with guys that I wasn't familiar with and gel with them throughout the week and just come out with the win.
Your last college career game, you lost to Grambling State. You got redemption on some players today. How does it feel?
It feels great. I talked to those guys throughout the week, and they had their trash talk. So I got the last laugh today.
Congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Let's look at the player of the game right now. What he did today, Brandon, a lot,
everything. And we talked about it coming in, right? That this is a kid that can do everything with his arms, with his legs, and on the first play here, that's what he does. First touchdown of the game, he takes it around the corner, again, just a little zone read, he keeps it, and he's gone. This is where you see he's so effective. Good decision to get down. Again, he's a smart kid. Does a really good job here. Opens up Dorsey. That's a great play right there because he's running. He's running there, not to scramble.
And across the field throw here for the go-ahead touchdown. Put that right on the money, and Harris does the rest. And 14-10, and the Brave take this one. And Brandon, this was a good game here today. We saw a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. It's amazing, though. It was special teams that really dictated this one. The Pride's 2 mistakes on punt returns, 2 muffed punts, equal 14 points for the Brave, and they beat the Pride. And we saw a running game play that was just outstanding for an all-star game. I mean, you don't normally see that in an all-star game because of the short prep week, but some good offensive linemen, and I think it's a testament to the coaches as well as Eric Galco for what he put out here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the coaching staffs definitely deserve a lot of credit. Again, it's a tough situation. As a coach, you always have too much, right? And you try and do everything with too much stuff. And I think that they did a great job offensively, both sides, the Brave and the Pride. They did a great job with their running game. Again, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from the receivers. There were some really good DBs, and there was a lot of pressure coming from the D lines, so that may have had something to do with it. But this was a good, solid football game.
The Brave take this one 14-10. Come back with us. We'll have more after these messages. So the Brave take the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl 14-10. As I'm joined alongside Brandon Noble, Abby Atwater, the 3rd member of our crew. And she has a player on the field, and let's join her.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Bryce Bradley. Congratulations. Just won MVP. What does that mean to you?
Man, I just want to thank God first. I want to thank God. It means a lot to me, man. My parents being here, they supported me my whole life, from day one all the way up to now. So it means a lot to put on a good show for them, man. It's my dad's birthday, so great birthday present for my pops, man. So it was all good.
Can you tell me a little bit about the experience playing here tonight?
The experience was great. It was a great atmosphere. I loved all the coaches. All the coaches was good. Great camaraderie amongst the players. Not a lot of bumping heads, no fussing and fighting, just good ball.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. And let's look at that pick six that Bradley had that tied the game at 7, Brandon.
That was a good call. Look, they brought pressure, right? And what that pressure does is it forces a bad throw, and Bradley was reading the eyes all the way right there. And then he just jumped the route and took it home. That was a heck of a play on his dad's birthday. Pretty good timing. I like it.
He's still paying for dinner, but that was huge there for the Pride. He just read that route beautifully. He saw the ball come right out of Butler's hand and just got it immediately, and it's that jump. You saw that from a lot of the D-backs tonight. They were jumping a lot of the routes.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. These guys they're talented. And again, that's something that at the next level gets even faster. So as these quarterbacks moving forward, they had a tough time with some of that tonight, and that's something that as they transition to the next level, wherever that is, those guys get better and better.
You see Cameron Sullivan in your screen for the Brave squad, one of those D-backs, back-to-back CIAA champs, led the team with 34 solo tackles. He really one of these great defensive backs here for the Brave. We saw Raymond Malone. He got on the camera and said, there's no one that can get by me. Well, we'll see at the next level, but you could see the confidence in these defensive backs, and it showed almost every throw that was out there. If they started on the short hitch, they were on top of the receiver. The receiver never even got a chance to look it in.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of times tonight where you saw separation, right? You hear people talk about that a lot from receivers being able to separate from DBs, and there were some talented receivers here. So that just tells you about the level of play that these defensive backs gave today, because they were very rarely open. There was always a contested throw.
And again, this was a final interview for these players here for the NFL. Here's our top NFL prospects in your screen. Well, we definitely know what Jalen Ware can do. Jonathan Dorsey, we got to see him tonight, and Brandon Barnes. They were targeted a lot. Marquise Ragland, Denzel Keys didn't really get an opportunity. His brother Angelo did. So
Angelo played great. I mean, I think Angelo tonight, I watched him, and he didn't maybe have the pick six impact, but if Bradley hadn't scored that touchdown, I'd have given the MVP to Keys.
Of course, you see Raymond Malone, the defensive back for Kentucky State, the SIAC championship MVP. And he was very solid there in that secondary. But those are your top NFL prospects. I really love what you have at the tight end and the defensive line position there. I mean, Marcus Ragland is very, very good. But also, you see an offensive lineman in our screen. They're pretty darn good there, too. There's Jalen Menifree, who played for Kentucky State, got to that SIAC championship for the first time in program history. And a bunch of Kentucky State players. This should make their defensive coordinator if you get him in there. And, of course, head coach John L. Smith happy. Raymond Malone, also joined by Trevon Spencer, leaves his career with 100 total tackles. First player in career history at Kentucky State to do that. You see some other linemen here. And obviously for the Pride, their offensive line pretty good as well. Not too shabby either here, as you see William Jenkins from Fayetteville State. But, of course, the guy scouts should be focusing on, it was in our screen, was Jalen Ware from Alabama State. What did you like about him when you saw him this week before this game? Because you were here for the drills, Brandon.
Yeah, first thing you notice, you saw when Abby interviewed him, he was, he's a very, very tall person. He's got length, and that's what they look for in tackles right now. They want guys that have long arms that can reach out and touch that defensive end and get his hands on him.
You see Marcus Ragland there. Give a nice friendly shake. It's a game of gamesmanship here alongside James Middleton. And, of course, the coaches here for the Brave. Yeah, defensive battle. It's kind of what the Brave coach wanted. Coach Ted Shaw, the NC State all-time leader in tackles. And let's go down to the field here in Abby Atwater.
I'm here with offensive coordinator Toriano Morgan. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
What has this experience been like for you here all week?
It's been a great experience seeing these young men come together with just a week, meeting each other, gelling with each other, being able to not only put together an offense, but to be able to put together a team to gel, give them a great experience, and then come out to get the W was the icing on the cake.
Have any players stood out to you throughout the week?
Definitely. Several players, but initially Malcolm Bell. He's a leader off the field. His demeanor on the field is a testament to the work that he puts on off the field. So what you saw tonight, him doing, is something that he was definitely prepared to do, and he just came out and executed and had a great game.
What did it take for this team to pull out the win?
Just staying humble, staying together. Coach Jones preached day one that there are going to be some good plays, there are going to be some bad plays, but we just need to continue to play the next play. And I think those guys did a great job. I showed a great testament to doing that, and we're able to come out and get the win tonight.
Thanks so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. on Martin Luther King Day on CSN+. We'll do it again, Brandon and I and Abby on the sideline for Dream Bowl 5. Last year, a double OT game, some great quarterbacks we get to see tomorrow. Seth Peters from Hendrix College, just 5'11", but his offense allowed him to lead the country in completion percentage. Then you have a bomber in Malicon, his head coach Ben McLaughlin from Louisiana College. I'm excited to get up. I can't sleep here, Brandon. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow on this one, and you should tune in.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Again, it's the same thing, right? It's a bunch of guys that are going out. It's the interview, but at the same time, it's a celebration of a great career. It's a great way to finish, just like these young men did today. You can tell they had a great time. Everybody talked about how wonderful the experience was. Same thing's going to happen tomorrow.
And an influential leader in our history here in the United States in Martin Luther King. That's kind of why Neil Malvone started this game on Martin Luther King Day. It started from just Division III players, and now it is built out to Division I, II, and III. So you're going to see a lot of talent there tomorrow. We're just highlighting the quarterbacks because they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's going to be a group of guys that's gone through the same things these guys have, ready to play ball tomorrow. They're excited. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Well, that's all here from Virginia Beach Sports Complex in the first ever HBCU Spirit of America Bowl. The Brave take it here 14-10 for Abby Atwater. Brandon Noble, I'm John Kelly Jr. Good night, and thanks for joining us.
Southside, what up? Go out and... Oh, he just lost him, bro. Oh.